Hey, Stunthangar fans, welcome. It is Friday. Excuse me, not yet. It is Monday, June the 3rd, 2019. This is our first show in June, and our new calendar commemorative host is Team Lionsky. That is the, where does it say? That is the June calendar picture for the calendar that Gary Sinclair made for us. So flip your calendars to June, and here comes the summer. Still springtime, though. We got about 20 or so more days to go. And right now, the spring weather is hot. We will, excuse me, while I get everything situated here. I got the chat box up. Okay, everything's up now. Chat box is up. The links are posted in the Stunthangar forum in the At the Bench thread if you're logged in. And looks like Bob Bishop and Pat's Place have showed up. Pat's our static plastic modeler. You should see some of his work. He's built thousands of models. Maybe he'll do a show and tell for us some night if he can ever get on live, or send us some pictures and we can do a show and tell for him. But anyway, I'm talking about you, Pat. Jack Snavely is on. Hey, Jack, good evening. So welcome, everybody. Obviously, we've got the chat box where you can talk to me, and hopefully we have some people that will come in, and we've got Winter Sportster here. Hang on just a second. I didn't even notice him come in. You're in the dark. I didn't see you there, Kim.
Hey. Yeah, it's scary when I'm in the light.
Right. I'm not hearing anything yet.
Oh, okay.
So what's going on, Kim? Have you got any sound? I can see your picture, but
hey,
I'm not hearing anything. And I see
hearing
your green lights flashing while you speak. So make sure your computer can hear you. I'm not hearing you over here, though. I hope it doesn't turn into one of those kind of nights again. But I can't hear anything you're saying. Let me turn you off and back on from my end. Hang on just a second. Okay, you are. And okay, you're off on my end. Now I'm going to turn you back on.
Right.
Say testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Testing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
I see your lips moving, but that's it.
1, 2, 3.
Can you kill it and log back in? Maybe it's something weird. Your computer can hear you talking, because every time you make noise, I see your little green lights by your thumbnail flashing.
Right.
So it can hear you, but I just can't. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I'm a moron. Try it now.
Yo. Hey.
Now I hear you.
Hey.
Never mind all that.
Good deal.
Rusty's an idiot. Okay,
No,
Frank. Hey, Frank Washburn just joined us from YouTube. Hey, Frank, we hadn't seen you in a long time, man. And flying control on Stunt, that's Charles Carter, and he says, I can hear him fine. Okay. Yeah, problem was on my end, Charles. What I have to do is mute my sound before I start the show, because the YouTube feed starts about 5 minutes behind me, and it'll start talking of what I said 5 minutes ago. And so I just mute it and try to remember and try to remember to click my mic on as soon as it's going back there. But I forgot tonight. So anyway, well, you seem to have a good connection with your new broadband out there in the Heartland. You do. You got good picture, good sound. So well, good. Yeah. Maybe we can get some good visitors in tonight, but when we get more of a crowd, I think if you're ready, you've got some stuff you can do for show and tell if you want to. And I know you.
I collected some of the Air Festival photos together in one folder, if that would work. I'm still kind of making this up as I go along when I talk to you guys.
Yeah. Well, it takes, you mean what? You mean meshing with our conversation and all? Is that what you're talking about?
How to bring up photos and stuff like
that.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we'll have to coach you through some of that. I think you actually figured out how to show one the other night, but But yeah, it's pretty simple. So
Yeah.
whenever we get some people in here, then
Sure.
we can we can coach you through getting started. If you've got them all in one folder, it's as easy once you get it started as just clicking through your picture viewer, and it
Yeah.
goes from one to the next.
That's what I
And
wanted to do because I didn't want to be a bore. And the other night I was going from one folder to the other trying to find a photo I'd been talking about. And I just put a bunch of the air show pictures in a folder. It's only about 20 pictures. And, but, I'll be willing to, if you guys want to wait while I look for them, if I just don't want to be a bore, is what I'm saying.
okay,
So,
well, that's not a problem. We got plenty of people that can fill those shoes if you're not boring enough. So, but and we've got some pretty talky people too. So
yeah,
don't feel like everybody can fit in here. So
great.
don't feel like it's a problem. But right now we just got the YouTube crowd watching us. I got about 12 guys over there watching me
Okay,
and you talk, and so from um, from over there, sometimes they start their own conversations, and sometimes they, get stuff that's relevant to what we're talking about. So we try to include them, but they're self sufficient right now. We just the two of us. Maybe
cool.
Sparky's usually one of the early ones, so maybe he'll drop in a minute. But if you want to just fiddle around, I'll make noise while you look for your files and rearrange them if you want to. So
Um,
I was just kind of going through my opening ceremony anyway. So let me do that while you mess
sure.
around. Okay. Anyway, all you guys out there, we appreciate
Okay.
you. We got 11 watching now, and y'all remember, if you're in the chat box, the super chat $sign at the bottom. If you are so inclined to click that and give us a little donation, that helps Sparky server fees, all the equipment he needs to broadcast from the Nats and Brodak, and keep the show going, keep Stunthangar up, and keep it free. And it also goes to my hobby budget too. So I appreciate it. And y'all are pretty good about making donations. I really appreciate that. It's nice to see that y'all appreciate us. And I also appreciate it when y'all come up to me. There's lots of people that never post anything in the chat box, and I don't meet you until I see you at a contest or an event somewhere. And when I go to Triple Tree in Huntersville, I appreciate you guys to come up to me and say, I watch your show all the time. And that's it's always nice to know who my silent audience is in the background. I know who everybody is that's up front. And it's amazing how many people watch us from the sidelines. So anyway, that's all good. And hadn't got much to talk about right now, except for I had forgot to bring my Hyper Viper in. I was posting on Cox Engine Forum about
Oh yeah.
that. I've been working on it. I've probably spent 4 or 5 hours out there this weekend working on it, and I meant to bring it in this afternoon, but never did get out there. And it's not a lot to show, but I decided it was time to start painting. So when I got out there, I picked up the fuselage, looked at it, and decided, well, it's not time to start painting until I put the finishing sanding on and smooth it up. So I picked up the sandpaper and I said, well, it's not time to smooth it up until I make sure everything's shaped like I want it. So I dropped down about 100 grit and started reshaping the nose on the cowling and knocking some of the square corners off just to make it kind of roundish. And so I sanded and sanded and sanded until I was covered with sawdust for about a day and a half doing that, and never did get the paint set up. And now I decided it was time to make the engine mounts, because I want to make sure my screw holes are in the right place before I start painting everything and before I finish shaping anything else. So I got a 1/8 inch aluminum bar out and cut a piece of it off to make engine pads with, and that's what I was doing when I finally gave up last night. I was starting to knock things off the table and drop everything I picked up. So I called it a weekend and came in. Never did get the airbrush out, but maybe I'll go out there one day in the morning if I can get some time Tuesday or Thursday before it gets up to 100 20 degrees in the shop, and just put some paint in the airbrush and spray it on a test board, because I need to be doing that long before I do anything that's aimed at the actual plane. So it's, not ready for me to take my first shot at it yet, so to speak. Kim, do you do any airbrushing, or do you just, how do you paint? Rattle cans or airbrush?
A whole lot of sable brushes, and I've got an older Badger detail gun. It's the larger version. It looks like I guess what I think guys customizing cars would use. And I've got the real little tiny airbrushes too.
Yeah.
But for spraying, the Badger, that detail gun gets most of the work. But I still brush on Rodak dope.
Yeah.
Just like I did with in the Aerogloss days.
From what I understand, most people that use dope go ahead and brush on everything until they get to the last coats, and then just spray the last top coat and then details and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've always felt like it works the dope down into the fabric or the silk span. I still love silk span.
Yeah.
And I love using Brodak dope. But I never did the filler stuff and all that. Basically with mine, once I get the silk span stuck on, I clear dope it and really light sand it, and then just keep clear doping it till I start to get a shine.
Do you ever have any trouble sanding through and exposing a rib or anything like that when you're doing it?
I do. Once I get that first coat of clear on, I really don't sand the silk span too much. Most of mine, the sanding's on wood. I cover the wood itself with real light silk span. I actually adhere it to the wood in sections, just like it shows in the old Gullows model airplanes. And the only reason I do it, I just like doing it. I don't have any other good excuse for it. But I'll put on a full coat of clear on the body, then get a thin, the lightest silk span I can get. I've got like 3 grades, and it's gradually disappearing. But I'll dampen it with I'll dip it in a cookie tray to make it wet, lay it in a towel, and I'll blotter with the towel, and then I lay that on the wood.
Yeah, I've
and
heard
I
other
brush
people
on
say
dope
they
over
do that.
I love doing it because it just it's a flashback thing.
What about doctor paper? Have you tried it? That's all the rage over at Stunthangar. Have you read any about that?
Andy sent me some, and I got to try it. I am so far behind in doing everything that I haven't been able to experiment with much. He gave me a big old roll of it, some kind of stuff, and I got to bust that open sometime.
Yeah, it's exam table. It's exam table paper. It's on the sheets where you sit on while they listen to you and poke you.
Right.
And it seems heavier than silk span to me, but I'm going to use it on this little half-A Hyper Viper and see how it works. And that's my test bed for learning how to do all this, because except for doing fuselages, just so that I get a nice glassy paint job, which I've been doing for a long time on my bigger planes. I've never silk spanned a wing before, and so that's new to me, and done a whole paint job on top of silk span. So
yeah. Now the biggest problem I've had, I love laying down silk span and all that stuff, but in this area, of course, you got humidity also. I got plenty of humidity, and I just take a little half measured amount of retarder and throw it in the paint, mix it up. And it's worked pretty good so far, but all of my finishes, they're kind of a mystery finish because I don't know how they're going to be till I get them done.
Yeah.
And Little Traveler, the little mini Mambo I built 10 years ago, I flew it at small this weekend, and in my opinion, it's still looking really good, but I can't remember what I did to get it there. So, you just kind of go with it.
Boy, that plane's got a lot of miles on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it's still going.
You've flown it in benefits and all kinds of stuff, tracking it across country, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, we've had that. It was just one big deal, and I have flown it at other events. But we raised $1,600 for St. Jude Children's Hospital, which is my favorite charity, alongside the Shriners. And but we flew it for 15 miles nonstop from back of my buddy's father-in-law's pickup from my house to my Uncle Wayne's house, or from my hometown, rather, to my Uncle Wayne's house. And he was one who got me started in all this stuff. So it seemed appropriate. And I always dreamed about it when I was a kid, of flying a plane cross country, anything I could do to emulate the real thing.
Yeah.
In my mind as a kid, you know.
Any of us guys that know you from Cox Engine forums have heard of Uncle Wayne before.
His daughter has a phone, and she occasionally, he'll be mentioned in something. It kind of tickles him, kind of scares him, I think. So, but once you're on the internet, you know.
Well, how's Uncle Wayne doing? Is he still hanging in there?
Yeah, he's 90 years old, and he's got the problems you'd expect a farmer to have. He's got skin cancers they have to burn off of him. And but his mind is really sharp. It's just his body's slowly giving up on him. And I'm supposed to go see him this week. I'm probably going to go see him Wednesday. And I stop at a local, at a restaurant over there. I pick up food, and I go to his house. He doesn't like getting out so much anymore. So I take him his bacon sandwich. He likes bacon sandwiches and cheesecake.
Damn, who doesn't? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. The girls at the restaurant know him. I'll call the order in so I can just pick it up as I go through. And they call it the Uncle Wayne order because he gets the same exact thing every single time.
Yeah.
And I told him we need to go there so you can see your fan club and your cheerleaders sometime. He says he's going to, but he has a little bit of problem with it. He doesn't want to get sick out in public, and it comes on him quick. So
yeah.
I go over, I always leave it a totally open schedule. We can sit and talk about the old days, which we do a lot, or we can get a car. He's got this little Ford something or other. He calls it Henry after Henry Ford, but it's an '09 in pretty good shape. So we'll take it for a drive. And his daughter checks on him every single day. And by me going over typically on Thursday, she's able to go to her quilting class and get a day to herself. So it's kind of a community thing. But he's a great old guy. And like I said, if it hadn't been for him, I had 2 Christmases ruined by control line airplanes. I didn't have anybody to tell me how to do anything. First was an Air Cobra by WinMac. The other was another WinMac. It was a Sky Raider, which would be very nice to have today. But
I've heard of both of those. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sky Raider's real rare. I've seen some of those go crazy on eBay. But the ultimate airplane for me was the little red and white Cox PT-19 Quiet Zone Trainer. And that's what I ended up getting. And from there on, now he let me fly. He had a PT-19 that looked like it had been through 2 wars and lost both of them. It was held together. He had a piece of aluminum door frame holding the right wing on where he had hit a fuel tank, or my cousin had hit fuel can on landing. And those were my first couple of flights. I never flew the fuel out of it, but I still remember that day when I flew the fuel all the way out of my PT. Yeah. It was a big deal.
It took me a lot of tries before I actually flew the fuel out. Yeah, my story is similar. You know, I saw a I saw a P-51 Mustang at Western Auto and had to have it, and so I bought it. I think I bought it with my own money and brought it home and couldn't start it. And my dad came home, and here comes Steve Hines. Hey, Steve, how you doing tonight? But my dad couldn't get it started either. I'm sure today that I could probably start the thing.
Yeah.
But he came home with a Stuka the next day. And here comes Mike Kleinke. Let me let Mike in. It's like the crowd's coming. And there you go, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
You're in.
Hey.
You're all talking about PT-19 first flights?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna share one real quick to just interrupt. 6 years old, Rouge Park, Detroit. Steve got my PT-19. Dad out there. He taught me how to launch it. So I would launch it for him and then come out to the circle, and then he'd put his hand over mine. Third flight, like some chicken hawk came in and dove bomb hit the airplane, like attacked the PT-19. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. I don't know, it was a hawk, or my dad called it a chicken hawk. But it dove down, and we hit a damn bird on my 3rd or 4th flight. Feathers went flying everywhere.
Bird strike.
Crash, and the bird flew off, and I was like, what happened? And my dad said, that hawk attacked the airplane. Surely we didn't just fly into it. It dove down to get the plane, and we hit
That
it.
is a hilarious first flight story.
Blue and yellow PT-19, 6 years old, first day out to fly it with Dad. Like I said, he told me he would start it, and he's like, take it and throw it in the air like this. So, because it was just the two of us, and we were flying over grass, so he couldn't take off. So I would launch, then I'd run out there, and he'd put my hand in the handle and put his hand over mine and, tell me up, down, up, down. But third or fourth flight, we hit that damn bird, and I'll never forget it. That was out there at Rouge Park.
Wow.
I heard y'all talking about PT-19 stuff when I was logging in there, so I thought.
Yeah, me and Kim were just trying to rehash old stories, actually, and Kim's got a lot of storied planes because he's one of the Cox Engine Forum storytellers. So that's how we got on it. And, of course,
I grab my phone charger, and I will be back to join y'all.
Okay. What's going on?
No, not too much. I was going to say my first airplane was a Warhawk.
Oh yeah.
And first to fly it was my mom.
No shit, really? Your mom flew it first?
Yeah, she crashed it.
Hey, well, I got to hand it to her. I mean, that's pretty. I like any women that'll pick up a handle and give it a try right off the bat.
Well, what it was is that my brother was only 6, I was 9. So because it had a motor on it, she wouldn't let my brother launch it. So she was saying I had to wait till my dad got home and all this. We wanted to fly the thing. I mean, it was my birthday and stuff, and so I come up with the idea, well, I'll launch it and you fly it. So she says, okay. Me and my brother were like, we want to see this thing fly. She made it about a half a lap. Well, then after she crashed it and I was all mad and stuff like that, she let my brother launch it, and then we started flying. But yeah, my first airplane, my mom flew first.
So y'all had enough rubber bands to keep you going for that afternoon, huh?
No, luckily it didn't wreck the airplane because it was a Warhawk, and it
that's right. Yeah, you said a Warhawk.
Yeah, they're bolted on.
Yeah, so it didn't. I think it messed up the landing gear, and we did something with the landing gear or whatever.
As I recall, my plastic P-40 was a pretty tough bird. By the time I got it, I could already fly because I had finally mastered the Stuka, and my mom bought it for me, and she asked the guy at the hobby store if she thought her son might be able to fly that, and he asked her what he was already flying, and she said, well, he flies a Stuka, and the guy told her, well, if he can fly a Stuka, he can fly anything. So that's an old mom story. She, remembers that. So she thinks I'm the biggest genius, and I invented all this stuff that's hanging in my shop out there, so hey, whatever.
Well, your Western Auto Connection's kind of spooky because that's where Wayne got his Stuka and a P-51 from.
Oh, really?
He bought something from him. I can't remember what it was, but he went back to the store, and this guy that ran the store asked him if he could, showed him the Stuka and asked him if he wanted it because the guy bought it and brought it back. He couldn't get it going. And Wayne said, sure. And he got a free Stuka, and I got it out in my shop now. And that was the very first, or one of the first plastic planes of Wayne's I got to fly. And it was kind of his showcase airplane at the time. So it was a big deal. Yeah. I know I say that a lot. There are a lot of big deals,
After I got my Mustang from Western Auto Home, and it wouldn't start. Dad came home, like I said, with a Stuka. And so we went out to the schoolyard with hard packed white sand. And I did the famous Stuka wing over, which is pretty much how I recall it. I don't know if it was full overhead or if it would even climb that high, but when it hit the ground, there were bits and pieces and spinners and pilots and antennas and windshields. And we picked it all up and had a perfect hole right through the spinner, like a bullet hole. We decided that's where I had been shot down. I've still got that spinner too in the drawer. That's all that remains of that Stuka, except maybe the bell crank. But so then he came home with a PT-19. First he glued it back together about 5 times. We took it out, and there's a limited amount of times you can slag a Stuka, but it was pretty good with epoxy. And so when the PT-19 came, I tried and crashed and tried and crashed and tried and crashed, and finally flew a full tank out and never looked back after that. So rubber bands and a PT-19 will get you in the air with the Cox plane.
I think that's probably, on a scale of number of parts, I think the Stuka's got more parts in it than any other airplane Cox, or maybe any other company. So it's pretty intricate. There's a lot of pieces in that
complex plane. And we walked around for about 20 minutes picking up bits and pieces and talking out how I almost saved it, but that wasn't even close to the truth. But
my mom crashed that airplane. She did a saber dance for a little bit.
Yeah.
She had that thing. That thing would hover, and then it just kind of hovered, and she made a half a deal and crashed it, but
just stalled it, I guess.
Yeah, it was just saber dancing,
too much up. Well, that's better than too much down. At least she had her directions right. You got to learn to measure them a little smaller after you learn to fly.
But yeah, my Stuka was the second airplane. It crashed on the first flight. The kid who launched it in at me, and it hit on the wing and snapped the wing in half. So I glued the wing back together. I flew that thing for a while, but my best one was always my Acro Cub. And I flew the crap out of that for a long time.
I don't know that name.
It was I can show you. It was a Cessna. It was green before that. And I can't remember what they called that green one.
Well, there was a Cub. They called it a Grasshopper, but it was a Cub model.
Grasshopper that's painted different. I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Tryon, can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was just checking. I didn't know if you had to have your earplugs. I was just saying hi and what's going on tonight.
I took them off because I'm measuring some epoxy right now. I'm doing a finish glue on this center section on the wing. I figured it out. If I chit chat, I might as well get something done.
Okay.
Well, I didn't realize that was Tryon. He had his back turned to us. Your ass looks bigger on camera than it does in real life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look at what Steve's got.
Tim,
if you click on his little thumbnail, and it'll highlight it so you can see it big. Oh, okay. Oh, you still strapped to the box. That's a pretty good looking little plane.
My brother got this for me, I don't know, 6 years ago on eBay or something.
Oh yeah, that's a version of their Cub. They marketed a bunch of different versions of it.
Is that a Cox?
Yeah, it's an Acro Cub.
Yeah,
and it's really light. And it flew well. I think because I have longer wing and stuff, I could loop it and everything else. Won't do two.
Great.
I couldn't get 2 loops out of it though.
I see. I've been ignoring my YouTubers. We've been talking about our first flights. Tom Creasy says he'll try to come on this coming Friday. Hey guys, I was going to come on tonight, but I did concrete today and I'm going to bed. Okay, Tom, I can understand that. And so let's see. Pat Kennedy says, Little Wizard got me started. Easy build, easy repairs. Yeah, Little Wizard's a good plane, and that's the one I think the motor rubber bands onto the nose of it too. And let's see, Jackson Navley, a guy named Russell was trying to get close to my sister. He made me a all balsa plane. Oh, okay. Made me an all balsa plane. The engine flew off, so he got himself a PT-19, 1968 or so. Been at it since then. And my sister married a different guy. Oh,
Hey,
well.
Rusty, you mentioned it, the Little Wizard. I know I've told you this before, but Kim might get a kick out of this. I found a 3 times Little Wizard at a swap meet in Michigan. Somebody had blown it up 3 times and put a Fox 35 on it with a Daytona tank, and the engine was definitely a breakaway. It was rubber banded to the front of the airplane, and so were the gear. It had big springy gear on it that were also rubber banded. So if you crashed a plane, the motor flew off and the rubber band broke on the gear, but nothing broke. And this was all balsa wood with a built up wing, but it was literally a 3 times size Little Wizard scaled up for a Fox 35. And I bought that thing for like $10, and I don't know how many people I taught to fly on that thing, and put kids on it and stuff. And it was actually the first 35 size plane that Sam started flying after he went from half A to a junior. A flight streak trainer with a 15, so a slab wing flight streak trainer. He went to that Little Wizard with the Fox 35, and that was the first 35 plane he flew. And I think if you go on YouTube, there's some videos of him flying that giant Wizard at 6 years old,
cool.
6.5 years old. That's when he first learned flat and level flight. And once he was ready for loops, we put that thing away, and then we moved on to like Sky Rays and Ringmaster.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, the sales pitch for the Little Wizard was that it would fly on 52-foot lines. So your Little Wizard should have flown on 100 and what? 156. 156. Yeah, show my math. So
no, I tell you, it was a well-built airplane. The guy had his AMA number and his address typewritten on a piece of paper, and then under a piece of packing tape or something like that.
Yeah.
He was a Michigan guy, Detroit area guy, Steve, that built this plane. Because I got it at I think I got it at the Lansing swap meet, believe it or not. Back in, this would have been 97, 98, somewhere in there. And I only bought it because it was like $10, and I was like, I'm buying this because it's cheap. But it was a well-built plane. Whoever built it did a nice job of scaling it up. So
that's cool.
So did you have fun in Michigan?
I did. It was a fast trip, man. I mean, we left early Friday. We got there Friday about 3, and then we left Sunday at 3. So we weren't even there, 48 hours or so. Just going to see Mom. Went to St. Mary's Cultural Festival. Mom and I went gambling downtown at the casino. And then, of course, I got my fireworks yesterday morning before I came home. So the whole reason for the trip basically was to get my fireworks for the 4th of July.
Interstate transportation of fireworks, yeah.
Well,
you can't get them there in Tennessee or Kentucky anymore?
I can get them here in Tennessee and Kentucky. The problem is I can get them much cheaper in Michigan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, at Pro Fireworks. I don't know if you know the chain, but it's up there, Pro Fireworks. I know a guy that runs one, and I've been going up there for 5 or 6 years and buying my stuff from him. And he knows I'm coming. He knows I'm going to spend like $1,500. So he gives me case prices on all my fireworks. I buy them by the case. I bought 9 cases of cakes, 9 to 15 shot cakes. And then I bought about 100 mortars, 5 boxes of 5-inch mortars, which you can only get 3. You can only get 3-inch mortars in Tennessee. Michigan actually sells 5-inch mortars. Michigan has better fireworks, and I can get better prices from this guy because I've been dealing with him for so long.
Oh.
I mean, this is what I ended up with for. That's 9 cases.
Holy crap!
Fireworks. And then those are the mortars I'm talking about. So those are 3-inch shells that go in a mortar tube. And it is no bullshit where It's the largest consumer shell on the market. It really is. It's a 5-inch shell, and I can't even buy those in Tennessee.
Holy crap!
We're only allowed 3-inch shells here. So to get the 5s, I got to go there. But there's 9 cases, and in these cases are the cakes. You know what I mean? Different size. Some people call them cakes. Some people call them, repeaters or mortar repeaters. And then they're varying sizes too, because some of those are much bigger. These are much bigger cakes than the ones I just showed you.
You light all these off at your house?
At my house on the 4th, yeah. They're legal in my county. They're legal in my city as long as you're not in the city limits, and our HOA does not have any restrictions against them. So half the neighborhood is at my house anyway when I do all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
We cook out, we barbecue, the kids play. You know, it's an all day thing, and nobody gets mad. You know, we only do it once a year on the 4th from dark till like 10:30. We shoot them for 2 hours, and then we're done. So, you know, I try to be a good neighbor. I think we had this conversation last year, maybe. You might not remember. But we do a pretty big show here, and we spend a bunch of money. Me and the neighbors all kick in and buy this together. I go get them. We shoot them at our house. But we send out a blast on the Facebook page for all the neighbors to let them know that we're doing it. Come over and join us, eat with us, drink with us, have fireworks. If you have dogs, we want to be respectful and let you know that we're going to be doing this. Yeah. And we're only going to do it till 10:30, and then we're done. It's 2 hours once a year. So,
yeah, that's
great.
A lot of people don't like fireworks, so they have, different, you shouldn't be shooting them. People get pissed off about them. It scares my dog, blah, blah, blah. I get all that, but that doesn't trump my right to do it once a year for 2 hours. And then that's how I try to be a good neighbor. I frame it like that. Listen, I'm letting you know we're doing them for 2 hours. We're done. We don't do them all day, the week before and the day after and the whole week and all summer long. It's 1 day a year for 2 hours. That's it. I don't even do so much as a bottle rocket any other day of the year here at my house. But that 1 day.
Yeah.
Y'all see that picture I'm sharing?
Holy cow. Yeah,
that's Wayne Robinson. He works for Zambelli Fireworks, and that's the grand finale he built for one of his shows down in Charleston.
Yeah.
They do all the Clemson football games too. But
Wayne, he gets to do way better stuff than what we get to do. That's for sure.
I knew anything you got from a shop, you can't compete with that. But
no, not at all. No, he's doing professional grade shows.
Yeah, they do custom shapes, flowers or whatever it is people want to see when they blow up in the air. But it is cool as shit.
Yeah, we had here at Lake Mich, off of Lake on the shore of Lake Michigan, Muskegon, they had the World Pyrotechnics contest. It's the World Championship or whatever, and it went on for a week. And
wow,
there like 3 different times, and it was hard to believe the stuff they had, stuff you never seen before. They were trying to win and trying out new things, but
because they've come a long way, making the peace signs and the hearts and the stars. I mean, those professional guys have really gotten good at directional fireworks.
Yeah, corporate logos. There's nothing they can't display now.
Yeah, it was. I never seen anything like it in my life. We always have the 4th of July here in Grand Rapids, and that's a neat show. But these people were coming in from China and Japan and Korea, Russia, all did these things, and it was the coolest thing in the world.
Well, we don't have anything like that, but we have a pretty damn respectable show for a backyard show. I can tell you that.
I just met.
Are you training Sam yet on how to handle fireworks?
Absolutely. Last year, he got some smaller firecrackers and some smoke bombs. So he was lighting his own fuses, safely out in the yard.
Yeah.
This year, we got him 2 bricks of firecrackers and a gross of bottle rocket. So I'll put a pipe out there so he can shoot bottle rockets, like no hand holding or anything like that. Just a pipe so he can shoot his own, and of course he'll have his smoke balls and the firecrackers again. Just a lot more and better ones. I got him lady fingers last year, and I got him regular ones this year.
Yeah, I started out from a pretty young age with fireworks.
I mean, 10. Weren't we all like 10 years old the first time we lit for a firecracker?
But it paid off because we had other kids in the neighborhood that liked to do it. And Al, of course, he's even at work these days. He's the anal self-appointed safety officer wherever he works. But he started that. I guess I taught him to be that way with stuff like this. But he'd see kids lighting mortars and looking down the hole, and
well, I would much rather have Sam lighting firecrackers and bottle rockets in the backyard for my supervision than the way I did it when I was a kid and come home with blistered fingers.
Yeah.
And burn hands, and
we used to shoot them at each other and shit. I mean, we were nuts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, tell Sam not to have an indoor war with bottle rockets.
That's probably a bad idea.
Dads
really frown on that.
I stopped. I was already an adult when I finally stopped doing bottle rocket fights because me and Holly started shooting them, and I hit her square between the eyes with a dud. Thank God. That was the last bottle rocket I ever shot at anybody. And these were the handheld ones on the stick where you'd light it and then throw it and then hope it took off at where you were going.
Just to bring it back to airplanes here for a second. So Sam is really killing it on some some paper airplanes. And try that into the fireworks. I think I'm going to how to tape a bottle rocket to one of these and get it going. We've all done that, right?
Oh yeah,
bottle rocket in the paper airplane thing. So we'll be doing that for sure.
Another thing that's cool with bottle rockets is to light them up and plunk them and throw them into the lake right before they go off and watch them go underwater. That magnesium won't quit. Hey Sam, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. Say hello.
Good. Good to see you.
Say Steve.
Y'all done with school?
Yep.
All right, man. I remember that was always the best feeling day of the year.
Tell Steve and Dick, can't wait to see him next week, right? Brodax, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Brodax coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be there probably till Thursday. Probably late Wednesday night. My mom has to go in for heart cath and stuff like that, so I got to take care of her.
All right, what do I owe you for that case of oil again? Was it $80?
Yeah, I think it was $40 a gallon. Yeah. So
Steve's bringing us some oil so we can make more fuel.
Some castor oil or synthetic?
It's
synthetic.
Synthetic, all synthetic.
Yeah.
KL 200.
Yeah.
It's all synthetic. Doesn't have any castor in it. It just makes the math easier when I'm doing 50-50,
Yeah.
If you use the 50-50 KL 100, it's got 20% castor in it. So it's not, it throws off your mix,
And the other thing is if you mix 20% fuel, everything uses up a gallon of the nitro works out, the oil works out because you use 10% nitro, 10% synthetic, 10% castor, so you can make 10 gallons.
Well, I actually mix mine by the liter. I do 3 liters at a time into a gallon jug.
Oh, okay.
So I measure out in milliliters my nitro, 300. I measure out my oil in nitro, which is 600 for 20%. And then if it's half and half, 150 and 150. And then the methanol is 2100. That's 3,000 milliliters or 3 liters. Because you can't put 4 liters into a jug. So I do it in milliliters to get, it's just easier to measure that way in the cups that I have.
Oh, okay.
Than doing it in ounces. you know.
Yeah, because you come up with 12.8 and stuff like that in ounces.
Exactly. And in milliliters, it's all in hundreds. And I got a 4-cup Pyrex 4-cup cup that, you know, just measures it all out in hundreds. So it's easy to do.
What's going on, Rich?
Not a whole bunch. Just digging out airplanes.
So we started off tonight talking about our first flights with our plastic coxes and stuff like that. What was how'd you get started?
Oh yeah, that was.
He was with Jim Walker, man. When Jim Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, the you helped Jim design the you really, huh?
Yeah. One guy I used to fly with was Roger Chaffee, astronaut that was burned up.
Oh, Mike, you want a 10-gallon drum?
I don't think so. Why? Do you have one?
Yeah, I used to make mine that way because it was just a gallon, and then 7 gallons of ethanol and done.
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't have room to bring it home anyway, Steve, but I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Go ahead, Dick. Tell us about
Then
your
you
first
can
flight again.
fill gallon jugs with it. But yeah,
No, I was handmade 049 balsa wood planes. Never really played with the plastic ones. Couldn't afford them.
What year and where were you flying?
Oh, 1956.
1956.
Yeah.
Damn, that's the year I was born.
Yeah.
And where were you flying these? Schoolyard, somebody's house, or?
We had a model airplane club in school in 7th grade.
What school was that?
Creston. It was Creston High School in Grand Rapids here.
Crestwood High School?
Creston.
Creston.
I graduated in 1959.
Man, my dad wasn't even thinking about a family then, man.
No, he graduated the year I was born. Hell, they even had a go-kart club at his school.
Yeah.
No shit, a go-kart club at school?
Yeah, the lawyers back then didn't say anything about it.
And we had a neighborhood go-kart club, but it was strictly gravity powered with planks and lawnmower wheels and ropes and 2x4s.
Tell them the story, Dick.
In high school, I got in trouble with a go-kart. In machine shop, I brought it in. It had twin West Bend 720s on it on alcohol.
Holy shit.
And rebuilt the cart. And the principal went to high school with my father. So he had permission to beat my ass anytime I screwed up. The main hall at Creston High School was a big circle. You could go all the way around it. On one side was the machine shop, and on the other hallway was the wood shop. And then there was a connector hall in the back that went by the boiler room. Well, we got the go-kart finished and had to see if it ran, so we fired it up and took it down the hallway. It was about 5 o'clock in the evening after school hours. And I come screaming down the side hall, down the main hall, and damn near run over the principal with a go-kart. He walked out.
That's awesome, Dick. Awesome.
Spent the next 2 nights cleaning the black marks off the floor, off the aisle in the main hallway.
So we tried magnet fishing last weekend on the lake. Sam wanted to go magnet fishing.
Oh, yeah.
He pulled up a few fishing lures and some bottle caps, but we kept dropping like the real heavy stuff because I just got a magnet from Walmart, you know. He goes out on his kayak and he throws the magnet in. And we watched a lot of videos of that last winter, so he wanted to try it. So when we went on the lake last week, I set him up with some parachute cord and a magnet, but it was just too weak to pull up anything good because he had, and even I did, some heavy stuff on there. And we could kind of feel it and get it, but then the magnet would break free.
Yeah.
So I bought him this. This will pull up 400 pounds. We just got this in the mail today.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, be careful what you get that in there. That might ruin your telephone or something.
Oh, it's so hard to get off. You can't get it off anything. You have to slide it.
You gotta slide it. Yeah.
You cannot break this thing. You can't, and it's only like 3 inches around. It's not that big, but you cannot break.
Yeah, that's that rare earth magnet.
You gotta slide it to get it off. So we're hoping we pull up some. I don't know. I want them to find some cell phones and keys and just whatever. We go over to Party Cove there, and people, those drunk teenagers are dropping shit in the water all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I think it'd be cool if we pulled up a couple things. We saw some videos of guys. Actually, a guy pulled up a model airplane engine, believe it or not. And guns, a lot of guns get pulled up that way. Just weird stuff.
I've never even thought of doing that.
Dude, there's a whole community out there. It's a thing, man.
Oh yeah.
It's a thing. People do it just off bridges over rivers. And then people go around on kayaks and canoes, and you go to where people congregate. So we thought it'd be good at, Party Cove at the lake where all the boats are every weekend. People are dropping shit in there.
Yeah, and especially around any docks or anything like that.
There's a lot of guys that do it just to get fishing lures. They go to popular fishing spots so they can pull up, because, you pull up, some of these lures are 10, 15 bucks a pop, man.
Yeah.
The guys in England that magnet fish pull up World War II artifacts. They find freaking machine guns, Nazi helmets, all kinds of stuff from World War II is dumped in all those rivers all over Europe.
Yeah, there was a thing on TV that Destination Unknown, or they're always looking for something. And that guy was magnet fishing and pulled up a gold coin.
Yeah. No, he couldn't have. Is gold's not magnetic, is it?
Well, it wasn't 100% gold, but whatever else, the damn magnet grabbed it. And it showed it.
Magnet. If a magnet's strong enough, any impurities in it'll let it grab on.
Okay.
Yep, and that was kind of the magnet he had there, and he was just throwing in them channels it was in Louisiana there or whatever, where the Mississippi comes in and all them little streams or whatever. I forget how many thousands of dollars it was worth.
Have we did we just have a Corsair crash in the last week or two?
Don't remember reading about it.
Know about that.
Real one? Did one guy land one gear up or something in a field?
I hadn't heard about it.
We got the one Corsair there in Kalamazoo that we see fly every year.
No, I think one landed gear up in a field here about 2 weeks ago. I saw a brief blurb on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, that one at it's at the Kalamazoo airport, that one flying field, Kalamazoo there. When that Corsair takes off and lands, it's hard to believe how loud it is.
Well, the propellers are huge on those things, man.
But that engine has no mufflers. I don't know, was it 16 cylinders or whatever it is? Oh my God, that thing is loud. And it's a long ways away when that thing takes off. There's no, you can hear it taxiing out and everything else. Then you see it lift up and it's really noisy. Yeah, it's too bad you didn't have more time. You could have came over there to the Kalamazoo Air Zoo. They have.
I've been there before, and I'll get Sam over there one day.
You let him fly. I let Samantha. She flew they got simulators. Put her in the simulator, and we had a hell of a time flying that P-40. Kept getting it upside down, and diving into the ground and stuff. We get it back over. It was so touchy that we had it in a spin and everything else. We never crashed it though, but it was just really super hard to control.
Will Davis has been rating yard sales. Actually, he said something about a garage sale in a previous text. That won't focus really well, but that's a bunch of
Pretty good.
TDs and medallions there. Yeah,
TDs in there.
looks like TD 051 in there too. Pretty good. One of our members died. I don't know if this is his stuff, Gene Guffey.
I think
Rest
so.
in
He
peace.
posted something about Gene Guffey today.
Yeah, I don't know if this is some of Gene's stuff, but Will sent me a bunch of pictures of stuff he's gotten.
The other email I got, he got him a Cox Semi 109. It looked like
Mhm.
109 Stunner from Gene.
That might be in this set of pictures right here. Let me see if I can find it.
I got
Yeah.
a box coming from Phoenix right now with some of Lance Matassa's stuff. I told you guys a few weeks ago, Lance had passed. Probably most of you guys don't know him, but he was a big combat guy, and he put on the March Madness and the Red Flag contest in Phoenix, Arizona. And Larry Davis is liquidating his estate to get some money for the family. So I got some half-A combat planes and another Profi 049. He had all
Might
kinds
be
of,
the ME 109. Will sent. Is that what
yeah.
you got? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we used to always spend. My mom was big on garage sales, so we always put in our orders, me and my brother. And one time we told her, said, yeah, if you come across a shotgun shell reloader, buy it. We'll give you the money back. I'll be damned. Within a week or so, she came up with a least shotgun shell reloader, so we got that. Then we were shooting. I was shooting trap, and I'm like, well, if you come up, see 12 gauge shotgun trap guns or whatever, buy it. She bought was it something Charles Daly? It was made by or sold at Montgomery Ward. She got me a shotgun for $12.
J.C. Higgins with Montgomery Ward.
J.C. Higgins, okay, that's what it was, and it was a J.C. Higgins, and I shot that thing for about a year for a $12 shotgun, but it finally fell apart. I just shot it to pieces, but yeah, then he said something about airplane motors, and she came back with a McCoy 35 and the little clear blue background with the clear thing on it.
Yeah.
That for like $2. No, but yeah, she doesn't do much garage sailing anymore.
Well, hey, Will just did a show and tell with a telephone. That was a pretty good trick. Actually, Minnesota Mike's done that too, showing us pictures of his motorcycles. Text them to me, and I hold it up to my camera.
Len's trying to get in.
Oh, hey, Len, hang on just a second. I didn't see you come in. I got my camera in a different place, and it was blocking my view of you.
That's okay.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good.
I'm good.
You take a nap before you got on tonight?
What's that?
Did you take a nap before you got on tonight?
Most definitely.
That was funny. We bored Len to sleep the other night.
We thought he had a stroke or a heart attack. He just flopped over.
I had to zoom in on him to make sure he was breathing.
Huh?
I made sure 2 or 3 people confirmed he was actually breathing, so we didn't worry about it too much. We hollered at you a few times, though. I don't know if
I'll try and stay awake tonight.
I was like, Len.
We were not far off from calling the ambulance on you.
Yeah, don't call
this close.
Phone number at home or anything to call his wife and say, hey.
Yeah. Well, we could call 911, but it'd tell him he's somewhere in Canada. Yeah.
That's not a very big help.
He's at the bean field.
He's at the bean field.
Feel the dreams.
Oh, Jeff Lowry says that ME 109 was one of his favorite planes, or the Super Chipmunk. I've been neglecting my YouTube crowd. I had them hidden for a while by accident, and so they posted while Mike was showing his magnets, giving advice about that. Like, don't get it near your pacemaker.
I don't have one.
Did you get the apps and the elevator and stuff all done?
What'd you say, Steve?
I was talking to try and to see if he got the flaps and elevator and stuff done for the.
It's done, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see it. Can we see it? Sam wants
Yeah.
to see Alex's plane. He's over
Show
here.
and tell.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to take this off.
Okay. I'll put him on present when he gets his plane up. Go ahead and present him now. Let's see. Present to everyone. Okay. Y'all should all have him in the big picture now.
I end up doing the checkerboard. I thought he was going to go white.
I know it. He said his son wanted to do checkerboard, so.
Looks like that.
What's he doing? Sticking the flaps on it?
He's sticking the flaps on it.
He changed the color of the checkerboard. It looks black now instead of blue.
I think I see some blue. It was hard to tell for me the other night.
Yeah.
I thought it was black, and then it started looking blue. I doubt if he redid it.
Yeah, I guess it is
Those
blue.
big old twister flaps. There we go.
You nervous? You nervous? You think Alex is going to beat you with that? He might. Don't know. Brian's a pretty good builder. Alex might take a run for your money. What's he doing? Taping all the flaps in the elevator on?
Yeah, he's finishing. Yeah, he's taping the checkerboard on the.
That won't stay on long.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing to
He's
worry
taping them
about,
on
Sam. If
the
that's how he does his hinges.
Scott
Don't
tape
worry.
hinges. Yeah. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
And that started as a twister?
Yeah, let it. Yeah, let's just go.
Look at the checkers, how they fit.
Yeah, that's a pain in the neck to do, but it looks good.
wow, they fit perfect. Yeah,
Looks awesome.
very nice.
Holy cow! Yeah.
Looks
What's it
good.
weigh, man? It looks heavy. It looks really heavy.
You're bad, Mike.
I know.
He can't hear you.
Yeah, he doesn't have his earbuds in.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Oops,
Say whatever
I
you want.
accidentally-
Hold
I think
on.
I blacked him out by accident.
When he gets his ears back on.
I can hear you a little bit.
You can hear a little bit.
Heard that,
Yes.
I heard checkerboard adds like 4 ounces, though. The black squares are heavy.
Oh, okay. All right. So we safe then because these are blue.
Oh, okay. Boy, it looks black from here.
The only thing is, I don't think that them hinges are going to last very long.
No.
What hinges?
The ones you just
Masking
tape ones.
tape hinges.
Ah. Oh, good, because I'm going to put Kevlar hinges in it.
Well, it looks
Yeah, that's better than Scotch tape.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Did you redo the wing?
Yes, I did redo that one panel. I just have to.
I knew you would.
I ripped it off and I put I have some leftover and it was enough for just to do the half panel.
Oh, okay.
And actually it's this hang on. Is this top panel over here. Can you see the joint?
No.
Oh, yeah, it stands out like a sore thumb.
I
No,
can't
we
either.
See the joint?
Yeah, it's
only,
right there.
It's only an 18-point airplane now. It's not 20.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but this is going to be his first plane, basically. It's going to have electric power, and actually, I tested this F2B axis with a 2-blade prop, with this prop here, which is a 11 11.6. It's a cut down from a 12.6. I had a prop that I had a mishap in flight, and I chewed up the ends of it. So I said, I'm going to cut it down. It's a good prop for him.
Yeah.
And it pulls 20 amps on a ground. So
have you kind of got to wait what you think it's going to all come in at with the battery and everything?
no, not yet, because I'm still waiting on a battery. It should be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So will we see Alex at the Nats with you, or will we have to wait to Canton, Georgia to see you guys again?
Probably Canton, Georgia, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm going to train him, trying to put him into the beginner and do a little bit more than he did last time.
Is he trying? Let me ask you. Does he have the PicaSim on his tablet or anything?
I don't know what that is.
It's a control line program that you can use on a tablet or a computer. It's called PicaSim. 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 Sam has it, and even though you're controlling with your thumb, moving the tablet or the computer, it does teach you at least upright flight and inverted, that up is down and down is up. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Sam flies it a lot. You can't do really beautiful stunts on it or anything like that, but at least when you're inverted, you learn that you have to give it down to make the plane go up. So that translates good to the handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. I'll look into it. Yeah.
And you can choose the airplanes. What kind of airplanes do you fly, Sam?
Usually they're one is B,
Max B,
and another is Peacemaker,
and
that's all.
Yeah. Okay.
There was somebody there in Russia who made a handle for that game. And they took a handle, put 2 wires on it, and somehow they hooked it to a computer or a laptop.
Yeah, Mark Boson did that too, didn't he? Russ?
Yeah, it was Mark McRaleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Cox Engine Farm. He came on here with it when he was putting it together, and he converted a radio to operate with control lines, and the radio converted the simulator on the computer to fly. I think is what he was doing.
Yeah, and that'd be the best case scenario, to actually have a handle to do it. But barring that, like I said, it does at least ingrain them with, when the airplane's crashing, if they pull full up, it crashes.
Yeah.
It teaches them to go down instead.
It gets that concept in their head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a thing on YouTube that Russian who made one took a bell crank and then just, I don't know if it was a potentiometer, however it worked, but he had just 2 springs on it and a 2x4 it looked like, with a bell crank on it and something off there. Then it plugged into his laptop, and he was showing his daughter how to fly.
Yeah, there's a few people that have done some interesting stuff. PicaSim, a widely available one, you can just download from a tablet or computer. Other people have taken it farther. That Mark guy, Cox Engine Forum, he went a long way with his. He was getting video game controllers and hooking them to a handle to control the input into the whole deal.
We almost had Tower with their flight simulator thing. I can't think of what they called it.
Real Flight.
They were going to do
actually, but
Real Flight was going to do control line, but then everything, the whole damn hobby took a crap, and it was too much money or whatever for the programming, and they didn't think they'd sell enough of them, and they'd had to make the handle thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they dropped it. I guess they are more business savvy than many of us.
Yeah. But yeah, they said it wouldn't, it wasn't so much the program was fairly simple. It was the handle thing to fly it.
I can tell you this: Sam did a whole bunch of outside squares on that PicaSim before we ever did them for real, and it helped him.
Yeah.
It helped him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. No, that's a good. I mean, if you have it, it's a good tool. Yeah.
Did
I'm
you
trying
download
to.
that to your tablet? Actual, it's an app, right? It's an app. So you could get it on an iPhone or download it to any tablet. He's got an Amazon Fire tablet.
Kindle.
Kindle. So it was on Amazon. Pick a cent.
Mhm. Okay, I'll look into it.
Oh, I got Dick made up a tank. He could have showed it. He won't. Oh, damn it! I can't hang on to nothing.
Thank you, guys.
But I don't know if you can see.
Hold it higher. Now, there you go. Right there. That's a good spot. We see
And
the
how to
clunk.
flow.
Oh, the Uniflow don't move?
Yeah, the handle's right there. And you just turn this, and that'll turn that.
Oh, Dick's doing. All right, so you're not soldering it to the clunk anymore, Dick.
No,
That was just to explain what we were doing a while back.
yeah, that's the way I do them. And this is, I got this one the way.
Is that the Uniflow or the pickup?
Okay.
That was the Uniflow that's adjustable.
So there's the other way.
Right.
But you don't want to adjust them both?
Hey.
This one you can adjust if you spin, you can kind of spin it. But this is the one here that I like because, especially on, you'd have to do it different. You'd have to lay it. It'd be the other way because to fit in a full fuse.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, on a profile, that's the way I'd have it right there.
Is there an overflow? Is the overflow at the top or the vent, I should say, at the front? Okay, where does that go? Just right inside, right?
The vent, the thread in fitting.
Yeah.
Just right in there. That's it. Okay. So then the 90 you got in the brass tubing, you can move that up and down by rotating the outlet. Do that for it. Well, show it from the other way, though. Turn it around and do it. Okay. There you go. Now, and then up and down. Okay. All right. I see what's going on.
And so that's just like lifting and lowering the tank.
The clunk doesn't hit that at all?
No.
Yeah, that was what I was wondering too.
Clunk is a little bit shorter than that.
It's about 3/8 of an inch away from it.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Because that Uniflow is all the way at the back of the tank.
The other way that I did it is that I switched from this tube to stuck it over here and put it on an angle and run it along the side of it. And
okay, yeah. So another
halfway down the tank. But then you gotta put another bend in it. You gotta put like a 45,
right?
45 at back and get it halfway down. Then the clunk won't hit.
Yeah, that's just a 90-degree tube is all it is.
Is that one of the Hobby King tanks, Dick?
Yeah.
Okay, so like a $2 tank.
Yeah. And it's a simple way where you can mount the tank permanent. Instead of raising and lower the tank, you just adjust the Uniflow.
Well, thanks for cutting the back off one to show us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it was one that had a burn spot in the back from another airplane.
Oh, okay. Now, Steve, hold up the other one where
the double clunk.
There you go.
Okay. The one thing is you can see here's your vent.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're filling it, then that's the clunk and the other part.
Uniflow.
But what Dick did, instead of having to bring that one bent back around because it's a pain in the ass to get it in there, he drills and taps and put a fitting in the tank.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you only got two
fitting.
Two. Yeah. All right.
So
show a close up of the clunk with the soldered brass tube for the Uniflow. There you go. Okay. So
that doesn't flop around very well either, does it?
Pardon?
Well, that was going to be my next point. I went to like half A size tubing. It's a bitch to get on the brass and on the clunk.
But it's really floppy.
But it's real floppy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I use the McMaster car. I buy my half A black tubing from McMaster car, and that's what I put on the clunks like that because they'll just go dunk, dunk, dunk.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you want
I
something
like
really
for it
soft.
to be able to go to every corner of the tank if you
Right.
rotate it around.
It's
This
a mother to get on, but
This one here is really old. I don't know. This thing's got to be 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Dick actually got some white silicone tubing. That's like a noodle.
that's what I have, Steve. It's white silicone tubing from McMaster car.
Yeah.
That's that real soft stuff.
Surgical
Yeah.
grade.
Super soft. Super.
Yeah.
That was just something we pulled it out of a tank tonight. I knew I had one someplace,
Okay.
and I found the tank and we pulled it out, and that was with that tubing. But that tank didn't work so good, and it might be that tubing is too stiff, and we got to put some more flexible lines.
Yeah, it didn't look like it would follow the corners of the tank around very well.
No,
Well,
in most cases, having a stiff tube is a good thing, but not in all airplanes.
But you figure you got the centrifugal force and that brass weight. If you're doing an inside, that clunk is at the bottom of the tank. If you're doing an outside, it's at the top of the tank. There's no way other that it can do that.
That's true. Yeah, you're right about that.
You know, the tubing doesn't have to be super flexible.
It doesn't have to go that far.
That's a short tank.
And the one thing about it is if you watch a profile flying around with a plastic tank, it's not like the fuel is in the back of that tank.
Now it's just a big pink blob.
Big point all the way across it. So if it stayed right there in one place, just like a metal tank, I don't
As
think.
long as it's to the outside, it'll be okay.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So I don't, and it's, I don't understand how that being an eighth of an inch or better away from the side of the tank, how it completely empty the tank. But it does. When they run out of fuel, there's no fuel left in that plastic tank. So.
Well, obviously, none of us know either.
Yeah, I guess, it seems like it wouldn't be, but,
So, Len, it looked like you and Naomi had a good weekend of flying.
Oh, yeah, we had a good weekend of flying, and we got out again today, too. We flew about 4 hours today. Got her on the half A's. She was doing quite a bit today. A lot of loops, a lot of eights, a lot of inverted. Just
Excellent.
pushing it.
Excellent. Well, then she'll be able to transition to that slow combat on 60 foot. No problem, man.
Well, she has wings. No problem there. Hey, I got a question for you. Do you and Sam have any use for another clown racer?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Sam is going to fly clown 15 PDQ at Brodax.
Okay.
Because we gave Bob Whitney an engine while
Okay.
we were at Joe Knoll. I gave
So
him
he has planes for Sam then, eh?
He has plane for Sam.
Okay,
yeah.
no problem then.
The goal is to get Sam to practice some racing.
Yeah.
And fly the mouse racer stuff before we go to the Nats. We're going to do
Okay,
that
good plan.
So
Okay. Good.
I can't say that he needs one.
Okay.
For Brodax or anything like that.
Okay.
I would think maybe find somebody else that could use it. Bob's going to hook us up with planes. So
No problem. It was just in case he didn't have one. That's okay. No problem.
Bob's going to supply airplanes.
Awesome.
He might need one after the first race. we might owe Bob Whitney an airplane after the first race. I don't know.
Well, if we have room, we'll bring it down to Brodax anyway, and he can just take it if you want, because Naomi's not going to fly any more clown.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
No problem.
But yeah, tell Naomi I got 3 slow combat planes with her name on them.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll have at it. I'll try and bring a couple more.
And Angstrom, the kid that we taught last year, he needs to learn inverted flight and figure eights too.
Well, Naomi was flying inverted today. She did a whole flight on her half A inverted, no problem.
Right. But we need to get her on a plane on 60-foot.
She has more trouble with loops than she does with flying inverted. It's weird. Can't do loops. She crashes on loops.
If she can do it on a half A, she'll be able to do it on a full size on 60-foot line.
Well, the thing is like it isn't consistent. Like she'll do a couple of loops fine, and then she'll go to do one, and it'll go up and go straight in because she doesn't keep holding the up. And I can't seem to get that connection between her hand and her brain to keep giving it up.
Are you out there with her when she's doing this?
Yeah. And sometimes I hold on with her and we do it.
Tell her
she's got flying
with her hand.
She tends to go around and then pull back or something, like she's scared, and she starts pulling on the down.
So her loops aren't round. She does something with her wrist.
Yeah, exactly. It's the wrist movement that's killing her.
Yeah, right. She's gotta be able to do that nice, big, gradual, easy loop.
And you know what? It's really weird because sometimes she has it and then she loses it.
Yeah.
And then can't do it again. It's very strange.
I think with the bigger airplane, it will be easier. Okay.
Like when she does them, sometimes you can see that hesitation. Like she goes into the loop and the first half's fine, and then it starts heading straight for the ground, and then she jerks it out at the last second and pulls out.
Yeah, but that's because it's a half A, Len. It's small.
Okay.
Swirly. They're touchy.
Yeah.
With a big airplane that flies slow, she can just go
right around.
We'll
see how it goes.
Half A's are the hardest airplanes to teach someone to.
Very difficult.
Stunt. Yeah.
I think I went on Facebook and I told her that. Fly a 40 size, something bigger.
Yeah, but the problem is if we keep dinging up 40s, I'm going to run out of money.
Not true, because they're easier to fly, and most likely she's going to learn faster.
Well, we can try anyway.
If you fight something you don't learn, you're fighting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my take on that.
Yeah.
Len, I'll tell you what. If I don't have her doing figure eights and flying inverted without crashing by the end of Brodax, I'll buy you a beer.
I believe you. You just finished teaching Sam, so you know all the tricks.
I'll have her planting her feet and flying a whole tank of gas, just doing figure. She won't even have to make one spin around. She'll just do big lazy eights for a whole tank of gas.
That'll be awesome. We're working on it. I'm trying to get her as far ahead as I can before we get there.
I was going to tell you, Len, I'm going to bring a Chase Lounge just in case you get sleepy.
Either will be sleepy, not her.
I got to step away for just a minute. Y'all don't burn the house down.
I think
she absolutely wore me out at the field today. I mean, she must have flown 35 flights on the half A's today. I was worn out.
Awesome.
Just flight after flight after flight after flight all day.
I think you can learn more and a lot faster when you're stunning if you can.
For sure.
If you can plant your feet and not have to do a lap or two in between maneuvers.
Well, it gives you time to think too.
Well, you just fly the airplane out in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to turn around and do circles. You just pick whatever stunt you're going to do.
And do it.
Insides, do some outsides.
That's right.
You know, just do it all in front of you without spinning around in between.
Yeah, she does outside loops fine, and she does, flies inverted and does outside loops no problem, but can't do insides. It just makes me crazy.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard to figure out. Outside usually gets everybody in trouble.
Well, I think she goes up and she does the first half fine, and then when she's coming down the backside, she starts pulling on the down line. It's just a really strange situation.
I think the size of the airplane makes a difference.
Yeah.
Bigger plane that's just trimmed out right and putting along, just draw that big circle in the sky. Don't fly with your wrist. Draw the big circle.
Well, you see, a year or so ago, she really whacked a twister right into the asphalt, broke the motor in half, totally destroyed the airplane. So now we're sort of scared to be taking good airplanes out and doing that. That's why we've been doing the half-A thing.
I got you, but don't worry. I got some not so good airplanes that fly good, that are big enough, and she'll get it. Trust me.
All right.
Trust me.
Len, tell her that most people couldn't hit that little patch of asphalt at Brodak. That's pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
She's hit it twice and also planted one in Toronto that was just a disaster. There was parts everywhere. And the problem is when you crash early on, it really kicks the daylights out of your confidence too.
I'm looking forward to flying with her.
That'll be fun. We're going to have a good time.
I think I have something to offer for her, and it won't hurt her, that's for sure.
Well, I think you'll be surprised because her flying's improved quite a bit, and she's not afraid to try stuff anymore. She'll go right after it.
And she can't hurt them. She'll break a prop if she does anything. She won't break them because they're combat planes. So
it's all right. I'll buy all the props I need.
No, don't even worry about that.
I'll empty Brodak's store if I have to.
Hey, try and show us what you're using for hinges.
Kevlar.
What
I'm using Kevlar.
are you scoring it or anything so it moves, or?
So this is it starts like a fabric like this.
Yeah.
And I put some CA in it, and you could probably see it on one end.
Yeah.
And that makes it kind of, rigid, keeps its shape. And then what I do, I just cut strips like this.
Okay.
So it kind of stays together. And when I cut them with that bias 45 degrees. So both layers of the fabric work as a hinge.
So then you slot the trailing edge and the leading edge of the surface.
Exactly. And I'm using an X-Acto knife, and you don't have to make the cut any wider than this.
Okay.
And then what you do, insert it inside and thin CA it in place. It's done.
You do it long ways or lengthways?
Yeah. Do you go the whole length of the gap, or are you, every 3 or 4 inches? So you're making your own CA hinges out of Kevlar is what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
How flexible are they?
They're very flexible. Actually, they get more flexible in time. And if they're not flexible, what you do, you take the back side of your X-Acto knife, you go in a gap, and put some pressure on it. What that does is it will take the
the CA
resin out of it. No, yeah, it's just the CA. It cracks the CA, and from that point on, it's even looser, right? Okay. And in time, it's just gonna get looser and looser, and just stays there. It's just simpler. Doesn't cost anything. So that's what I did on this plane. It's pretty loose. I mean, it's not super loose right now because we just installed them, obviously. But you can just, if you work them out a little bit, you should be fine. Should get better. They usually get better. My plane on my Revolutions were a little very stiff at the beginning, and now they are just very nice. Wow. So as the time goes by, they get better and better. Now on Revolutions, what I did when I closed the mold, I have a long strip of this Kevlar. So it's the whole hinge. The hinge is the full length of the flaps or the full length of the elevator.
So there's no hinge gap?
No.
Okay.
That's correct.
So there's no gap between the flap and the trailing edge at all?
No, none whatsoever, yes.
That's good. So you don't have to tape your hinge lines or anything.
Come again?
Very good.
Yeah. So this is just very simple, You can spend a square yard of this material is like $26, and you can probably make hinges out of it for the rest of your life. So
Jeff Riley wants me to ask Mike Lonke a question. Let's see. What makes an SV-22? I've seen the 11, but was not able to find the 22.
It's basically the same airfoil, but longer wingspan.
Yeah, different wing tips.
And different wing tips.
And I think it's a longer, the elevator is just a little slightly more backwards, like half an inch or so.
Yeah.
V-23.
The fuselage is a little bit different. I mean, they're all variations on the same airfoil. And
Yeah.
some, I think from what Randy told me, some of the height is bigger. It's the same rib, but in different sizes and different lengths.
What you got there, Rich? Is that an SV?
That's a Katana SV-23.
23.
That's a great plane.
Let's see a 23. I don't even know what a 23 is.
Yeah, you do. You know what a 23 is.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, snap. Damn it. That's the one I missed.
Look, Mayor.
I could have bought that plane at Brodax for $150 from Mark Weiss.
You could have bought it for me for $100.
That's what I bought it for.
Yeah, he gave me $100 for it.
Wow, that's the deal. Is that with a motor?
No motor. But
No
Mark
motor.
Weiss was selling that for somebody. I was the first one to walk. Mark took it out and set it on the ground. There was
Sitting right by your truck.
And I was like, damn it. I said, what motor goes in? He said, PA-75 is what it's set up for. And we did not have room to get it home. Sam and I, we were packed to the gills. I couldn't get it home, and I regretted not buying that plane ever since. I regretted not buying it.
Stalker 61 in it now.
Yeah.
That's great.
It may be at Prodex. I killed the Dagger this afternoon, so.
No.
Beautiful paint job on it and a great finish too.
Yeah, it looks good.
Watching
Flies real nice.
video doesn't do it justice. It had a beautiful finish on it. It really did.
What happened to the Dagger?
Too slow. No line tension. The lawn darted second time.
No.
Crap.
Oh,
Only
what?
find it in 3 pieces this time.
The one you just finished, Dick?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's in
Oh
parts.
man, that's bad.
Yeah, no big. The plane really wasn't that good anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you didn't spend a lot of time working hard on it.
Yeah, there's a Vector 40 sitting here that's ready for covering. I started that a week ago.
Let's see. We got
Friday.
Steve holding a picture up here.
Oh, shit.
What?
All right. Remember that? That's the day we took it home.
Yeah. That was a couple of years ago. Yeah, you may see it again.
So Dick, are you going to have the Vector ready for Brodax?
No, I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah.
I got the Katana here, and I also got a T-Rex that really flies good.
Well, I got 4 days till we leave. We got home from Michigan last night, so today was unpacking the truck, grocery shopping, and doing laundry. Tomorrow is the kickoff of Get Ready for Brodax.
Me too.
To combat planes, stunt planes. Got to make sure I got everything for the jet. I got to make fuel for the PA ship, the regular stuff, and make fuel for the jet because we'll be flying a Dynajet every night. Charge
Nothing but work.
4 days, and I have to build a brand new half-A stunt plane.
Yeah, I gave up.
Oh my God.
That's it?
I broke mine, and it's not going to be repairable. So I'm taking a different approach. I'm building another stunt plane on a bladder, but it's going to be a little bit smaller, not as big and smaller. I'll build it here, and I'll test fly it when we get to Pennsylvania on Saturday.
Yeah,
Sam
I'll be
and I are
down there.
leaving about 3 o'clock in the morning Saturday. We'll be at the field at 1 on Saturday to stake out our tent space, and then we'll do a little bit of flying, and then have all day Sunday to test stuff.
We'll race you there. We'll see who gets there first.
Okay. What time are you getting there, Len?
Saturday afternoon sometime, early, hopefully.
All right. Well, I'm getting there at 11 now.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I'll be there at 10:30.
Oh, son
I'll
of
be
a
there at 9.
bitch.
I'll drive all night, dude. I don't care.
Fuck.
I'll drive all night.
It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be so much fun, man.
No kokanee for you.
Oh. No PA needles for you, buddy.
Oh. Nice. Forgot about that.
Yeah. I hope you don't need them for the contest.
Because I think you already forgot about them, right?
I forgot about them. I lost them. I don't know where they went.
Unbelievable.
Hey, no money has changed hands yet, buddy. No money's changed
That's
hands.
awesome.
As far as I'm
Oh,
concerned,
man.
they're mine. They're still mine.
You know what payback is, right?
Oh, you win.
I got you. They're right here in my parts box, man. I got them right here in my box with your name on them.
Awesome. Thank you.
$80 for 2 PA needles.
Whoa. You just doubled it on me.
Hey, Len, you want to buy some synthetic oil?
Why does he need some?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
How
man,
much you
it's just a
selling it
tariff.
for? I'll sell it to him for double.
It's just a tariff. I'm just putting a tariff on the PA needles, man.
Oh, man.
No, you're good, man. $40 US, buddy. You're good to go.
You betcha. I'm going to try and pick up your 6-pack, too.
No worries. Buy it warm if you can.
6-pack. That won't last him an hour on his first day.
Hey, he's got to be able to help Naomi fly. I don't want him on the ground. Come on.
Try to buy it warm, though. Don't buy a cold one if you can avoid it. It's
What's that?
Try to buy it warm, not cold.
Okay.
It's not good to have beer cold and then get warm and get cold again.
Okay, so buy it warm.
Yeah,
Okay.
buy it warm. And
All right, I'll try.
Yeah, I just want these. I mean, I'll have plenty of beer anyway, Steve. But these kokanees were something, and all my trips to Vancouver, British Columbia when I was in the Navy, it was my favorite beer when I went up to BC, was these kokanees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got at least my memory. I fall asleep at the computer, but at least my memory still works.
Yeah, shit. We thought you were dead, Len.
Don't worry, wait till Brodax, you'll really think I'm dead.
Did you go back and rewatch that night's episode when you fell asleep?
No, I didn't. I should. I bet it's funny as hell.
Yeah, you should go back and watch it. I did. I went back and watched it again. It was freaking hilarious, man.
The only problem with that is I'm liable to fall asleep before I get to that part.
Well, that's what the fast forward button's made for.
Hey, Mike, we'll bring that up and show everybody at Brodak.
Oh, please don't.
Rusty, if we got if there's enough bandwidth out there, we'll try to get a Monday night hangout. Somebody, one of us.
Okay.
If I can get enough Wi-Fi from John's house, I don't think he advertises his Wi-Fi and password out there, but maybe if I speak to somebody in the family, they'll let us get on his Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And we could sit in John's garage on Monday night and maybe Friday night and get some people on the hangout.
Yeah. We'll definitely give it a try.
The hangout isn't earlier. We could do it for the dinner and everything.
On Friday night, yeah.
Yeah, and bring it around and talk to all kinds of people. But the dinner's about...
What time are you talking about, Steve?
The dinner's about 6 o'clock.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the same time zone as me.
Yeah.
I could try, but being that computers in our family room, it probably won't be possible for me to do a show because me and Holly will still be beating around the house doing supper and stuff. So I'll see though.
You know what though? Sparky will be there. He could probably open one up, couldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, that is possible. He could actually broadcast the show from there probably. And we got to see too. There's a possibility I might not be here Friday night,
Oh, okay.
but we hadn't decided on that yet.
So when's the test flight coming on the new airplane, Brian?
I don't know. Maybe this weekend if the weather permits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Should be pretty uneventful. I think I built it fairly straight. I don't anticipate any huge issues. Probably just, going to put a bunch of 1-minute flights to get the speed right on it. And after that, put another full flight because that's all the batteries I have. I just have 2 batteries. So that's that.
What timer are you using?
On this one, I think I'm going to put and test the Fioroti timer.
Oh, okay.
It's not the Igor Burger, it's the Fioroti.
Yeah.
So this is a serious flying machine, for a trainer.
Are you gonna cut the switch off of the ESC? Are you using the which ESC are you using?
I'm not using that. I'm going to use a Tornigi 20 amps ESC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I figured it out if I have 20 amps maximum ever achieved on this motor at full power, and I'm not going to use full power probably for the takeoff. I'm going to be fairly safe within the ESC parameters for this motor. And because the motor is big, it's also going to probably save me on the battery side. So I have no clue what the battery usage is going to be. So better safe than sorry.
I put that vector together, and that's got the Jetty spin 66.
Too much.
But it's the deal to where they said that works better with it or whatever. But it's got a switch on it.
Yes.
And it's got an extra wire there too. I think I'm going to cut that extra wire off and maybe get rid of the switch.
If you have it on your vector, if you use the Igor, system, then you pretty much set because you want to use the switch.
Well, you got the switch, and you got to have a
arming plug, right?
Plug. And I found out if you just leave the switch on and push the arming plug in, everything just comes on.
Yeah. Okay. But sometimes I have to switch it off too. So I do a mistake or I forget something, and I don't know, something stupid like taping my flaps and forget to take the tape off the flaps before I take off because I made some kind of adjustment.
Well, we just pull the arming plug back out.
Yeah. 6 and 1/2 dozen with the other.
But that's, we got
back on Brodak real quick here. I just want to interrupt for a second. We talked about doing a live chat maybe Monday and Friday if we can. Also, for those of you that are on Facebook on Control Line Flying, I'll be posting a shit ton of live videos from Brodak as well. Kim, I think you're on the Control Line Flying site, aren't you?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll be checking it out.
Rusty, you're on there.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Len, Steve, Dick, we're all going to be there. But Tryon, you're on there as well.
Yeah.
That's just, and I've done that the past couple of years because it's easy to do. There's enough signal there to get Facebook and just go live. So
that's awesome.
I'll be doing as much as that as I can while I'm there, and phone battery allows me to. So just be on the lookout on Control Line Flying for live Brodak videos. You never know what you're going to see.
Might see Len sleeping in the middle of the circle.
Hey, if you can't stay awake in the middle of the circle, you need to find a new hobby.
You'll definitely see the pulse jet flying. You'll see me flying the Bolton T-34 Dynajet, and then I'll get as much the combat as I can, and advanced and intermediate as well. I'll be on the advanced circle. Sam will be on the intermediate or Married Circle, and then Sam flying clown racing as well.
If y'all probably hadn't had a chance to practice any since Triple Tree, have you?
We haven't done nothing, man. No.
Yeah.
The weather is horrible.
Don't tell me that.
Decent at Brodak this year.
What? Are you looking at a long-range forecast right now?
No, I said the weather has been horrible. I hope it gets better for Brodak.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the weather's gonna be horrible at Brodak.
Oh,
Last time I looked, it doesn't look too bad for Brodak.
Yeah. Sunday and Monday is supposed to be 50% chance of rain.
But after that, it really drops off.
That's so far away, it's not even right.
No, I know it. Yeah. It's going to rain.
Good weather. That's
Crazy.
what I'm hoping is that, because we're due for good weather.
This time next week, y'all will be in Pennsylvania, won't you?
Yep.
Most of them will. I would have been, but like I got to do that hospital thing with my mom, and I won't get there till the end of the week. I got the whole week off, and I was going to leave Saturday. Oh, well.
Ask Steve what he's flying at Brodak.
Hey, what are you flying at Brodak, Steve?
Anything you bring?
No, ask him what events he's flying.
What events are you flying?
None.
You're not going to fly beginner? I thought you were all tuned up to do stunt, brother.
I'm going to get there late and stuff, though.
Chicken.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want. He just doesn't want to get beaten by Naomi.
He doesn't want to get beat by.
Pardon me?
He doesn't want to get beat by Sam. I mean, heck,
No,
Sam already beats you.
Sam's in intermediate.
Idiot.
But you know what, Glenn? Naomi's lucky that Sam moved up because she might have.
That's right, or she'd get hammered.
Yeah. Sam beat me at Triple Tree.
Yeah, I haven't flown in like 3 weeks. I don't know if my back's going to take it.
Oh, Steve, you can put up 2 flights in PA on Friday and Saturday.
If I can get up and do it and try, you can get up and do it, Steve. Come on.
Absolutely.
Chicken.
Fly, Steve.
But I can't. I don't get no practicing.
I hadn't flown a pattern in 2 years when I went out there with Mike in the circle and flew the other day.
Rusty.
Say what?
I've never flown the pattern.
Well, it doesn't matter. You don't have to know how to do it. You just go out there and try.
Either is Naomi. She's never got through a beginner pattern, not even close.
You'd be surprised. Every beginner contest I've flown in, which is 2, I guess, but there were people that have never flown it before. There was one guy that I taught the pattern to on paper the night before the contest, and he entered the contest. It's just big fun.
That's right.
My son didn't know how to fly
anyway.
My son didn't know how to fly. He flew at the Joe and all he could do is just take off and land. That's about it. He did a good job,
right.
but
Len, is Naomi going to fly the basic flight, ladies and youth only? Or
No, she's already done that twice. She won't do it ever again.
So
she wants to fly beginner.
Okay, well, so then we got to work on overhead 8s, right?
Yeah, she wants to fly beginner. She doesn't want to fly ladies and youth.
Okay,
She did that 4 or 5 years ago.
PA at the end of the week, right? Not in profile on Monday, but PA on Friday, Saturday. She wants to fly beginner.
Yeah, and also Nostalgia 30.
Okay, well, that might be pushing it, but I bet I can get her the beginner pattern by Friday and Saturday for PA.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. Hey, even if she only flies part of it by Thursday, it's better than none of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, Kim, have you ever been to Brodak?
No, it's been on my list. I haven't been able to pull it off.
This
is
week
your
is a
last
lot of
chance,
fun.
and this is it.
This is it by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's what
The last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is this because John's health?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know he was going to make it.
Man, I'm so excited. I'm going to have so much fun with Naomi, man.
Hey, Pat Kennedy's got a suggestion for a contest. He says Rusty versus Steve at combat, dual stools.
I'll supply the airplanes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'll bring the airplanes.
All right.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's not me going around in circles. It's the disc between my shoulder blades.
I can bring my Luciano Scarenzi Super Satan.
We may have to tie the handle to my hand because I lose all when it gets bad. I lose the feeling in my hand.
Fly with your other hand.
It pinches that nerve. Yeah, fly left-handed.
Fly left-handed. You can do that. I mean, if I lopped off 2 of my fingers at Brodax, I'd come back and fly with my right hand in the
Me
other.
too. I'd fly with my left hand.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll fly with my left hand too. Oh, I'm a lefty. Wait a second.
Well, so am I, Tryon, but I'm saying if I hurt my left hand, my flying hand, I'd still go back and try to do it with the other one.
Paris when he crashed and broke his right arm before the Nats 2 weeks before he learned how to fly left-handed and won.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Who did that?
Mike Paris.
Oh, wow.
Mike Paris or John Paris?
Mike, his son.
Yeah, his name's on the trophy in the house. I saw it in there. I saw it in there. I did manage to get both those, the Eagles Nest trophy and the junior trophy. I got them engraved with Sam's name. We'll be dragging those back to the Nationals.
Cool.
The Eagles Nest, we don't have to worry about bringing back because Sam's going to fly intermediate, so that one will stay. But I do hope that Samuel gets to bring the junior trophy back again this year. That would be nice.
No.
Oh, Pat just asked me to show the June calendar again. It's Team Lonke on the June calendar. You'll see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, here, let me click on my pick. There we go.
I see the yellow and blue SV11 there.
Yeah, oh, that's better. There.
What else is in there, Dick? Hold it up a little bit, Rusty. Right there. Dick, what do you see in there in that picture, buddy?
Oh, the green one.
The checkmate.
Yeah, checkmate.
Yeah.
Checkmate, and there's one of Ellen Green's old fast combat planes down there by Sam, and then I'm holding the new jet. The new
the sister plane to the green one. That red and white checkerboard that I flew a couple of years ago, it hasn't been flown since.
Oh, no kidding.
This actually looks like a Christmas picture with all the red and green in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, y'all are the commemorative calendar hosts for the month of June.
For June, okay. Awesome.
Mike kind of looks like Santa Claus, too.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at the red shirt and all that, but
that's a Detroit Combat Team shirt.
I see that. Yeah, I didn't see what it said at first.
That's my Detroit Combat Team. I had those shirts
awesome.
for me and Colombo and for Sam. And I got some new ones, some blue ones that I'm debuting this year at the Nats for me and Colombo and Sam.
Cool.
Because we're going to, I've made a decision. I'm going to opt out of flying stunt at the Nats.
Why is that?
I am not going to fly stunt at the Nats. I want to fly combat. So Thursday, we're going to fly speed limit. And Friday, we're going to fly half A combat. Sam, both of us will be in both events. If I was flying advanced stunt, I'd have to be there Wednesday to do it, and then Thursday, and then if I made it, Friday. So I'd have to give up 2 days. I'm not doing
Sometimes it's just too much.
Well, Sam wants to fly combat, so I'm going to fly with Sam on Thursday and Friday combat, and then I am giving up fast combat, big block Nelson fast on Saturday because Sam will be flying junior senior fly-offs for the
stunt. Yeah.
So for stunt, but we will get 2 days of combat.
That's
so
awesome.
we get there Saturday for practice. Sam will fly intermediate on Sunday, the unofficial event, intermediate. Monday is our day off, but that's when half A mouse, half A proto, and mouse racing, half A proto, and half A speed is. Sam's going to fly that with Bob Whitney. Bob Whitney's going to help Sam fly all those half A events.
That's
Tuesday,
awesome.
we have a day off. Wednesday, we have a day off. So we'll just fun fly and practice. and then Thursday, Friday combat, Saturday stunt for Sam. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome.
You know, I did want to go there and fly advanced stunt, but I'm already going to be down big time because I don't have a BOM model, so I'd be certain already. And then having to give up 2 days of combat to fly stunt, it's not worth it to me to
No, exactly.
to
You
miss
have to
2
get your
days.
priority, decide what your priorities are.
Hey,
Well,
how'd that tank work out that you fixed?
Well, I didn't. There's the cap, and there's the tank. When I talked to you guys last, I just pulled it out, and then I never got around to fixing it, and then we went to Michigan. So that's on the list for this week. We fixed the tank for the SV.
Oh, okay.
And I'll
Never a dull moment.
I'll test fly it at Brodax, and if it didn't work out and I still have issues, I'll just fly one of my profiles for PA.
No, I'll go over to the store and get a tank and we'll put it in and then you'll fly it. Not a problem.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
You know what?
I got the whole week to get that airplane figured
Exactly.
out.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
One thing is that all you need to do is go over to the factory and have the kid custom build you a tank.
Yeah,
Whatever you want.
You mentioned that last time we talked. I
Yeah,
think this is going to take care of the issue.
Some of the tanks are mass produced and the other ones are custom.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. You know, but I'm not sweating it, man. If I can't get it figured out by the end of the week, I'll fly something else. It's not a big deal, you know. I just am looking forward to going and me and Sam flying our asses off and having a bunch of fun, man, you know.
Yeah.
And Mike, I was looking around after we talked about your plane engine, your trike engine going down, and you were showing us the other night. I looked up a guy that was selling them and training people, and I found a guy that was talking about your engine now, the Italian engine. What's it called?
Simonini.
The Simonini. Yeah, this guy was selling Simoninis, and he was selling them new, and it was something called a light breeze. Does that sound right?
Well, it's a Simonini engine on a powered paraglider called a Fresh Breeze.
Fresh Breeze, yeah.
So,
and that looked like a marvelous engine. Took it straight out of the box, bolted it on, and pulled the cord, and it cranked on the first crank.
Okay, the Fresh Breeze is not an engine. The Fresh Breeze is a cage and a motor mount and a harness.
Oh,
not
okay.
The engine. Okay, the engine is the Simonini.
Okay.
So the main part of the powered paraglider is the engine, the Simonini.
Right. Okay.
The actual cage, the frame, and the netting and the harness. So that's a Fresh Breeze. That's a manufacturer of a PPG unit that uses a Simonini motor. I have a Fly Products powered paraglider, which is a Fly Products cage, harness, motor mount that has a Simonini motor. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's another one called a Blackhawk.
Yeah, he had one of those too, and it was a bitch to get it cranked. He had to suck on a hose and prime it and all that kind of shit.
Those names that you're saying, Blackhawk, Fresh Breeze, Fly Products, those are all cages that are made in the U.S., but they all take a Simonini motor and put it on that cage and harness.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you.
I got it.
The motors are all either German or Italian, but the cages and harnesses, that stuff is manufactured in the United States, and they put an Italian or German motor on it because there's no American company that will make a motor for powered paragliders because of the liability involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the first people that get sued in a plane crash or any kind of ultralight crash? They sue the guy that made the airplane, the guy that made the motor, the company that made the propeller. They sue everyone across the board. So there's not enough money involved in powered paragliding for an American company to make motors and sell them. So American guys come up with their own cages and frames, and they put Italian or German motors on them.
Yeah.
So
I learned a lot about the motors just from watching him compare the two.
yeah, I mean, it's a two-stroke motorcycle, and is what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's, a single cylinder two-stroke.
When I first saw this dude, I thought it was you at first because it was a big dude that in the thumbnail looked like you.
Big, tall, muscular, bald guy, right?
That's him.
Yeah,
And he was excited too.
His name is Kurt Pfister. He's up in Ohio.
That's right.
He runs a company called Flight Junkies, and he sells the Fresh Breeze. And they call him Captain Kurt Pfister. Captain Kurt is what his name is. He's a trip, man. He's a cool.
Yeah.
You know, they have get-togethers just like we have control line model airplane contests. The PPG guys have all these get-togethers and stuff, and they do the same thing up there that we do. Just a bunch of people getting together over 3 or 4 days and flying power. But yeah, Captain Kurt, he's a trip, man.
Yeah, he is. But he was excited about his product, and if you buy one from him, he gives you unlimited training.
He will fly anywhere. He will come to you, and he doesn't charge any money to teach you how to fly, but you got to get him to where you're at.
Yeah, right.
If you live in, let's just say you live in Nevada, and you buy one of Captain Kurt's fresh paragliders, he'll come to you and train you as long as you buy his plane ticket and either put him up at your house or put him up in a hotel.
I see.
He doesn't charge you for flight training, and he'll stay there as long as it takes to teach you how to fly a powered paraglider.
That's good.
So when he says free flight training, it's not really free. It is, but it isn't, because you got to get him there and you got to put him up.
Yeah, right.
But
that's still reasonable.
A lot of guys charge like $2,000 for a weekend class to learn how to fly one of these things.
Yeah.
They charge you money, you know. So,
that seminary was sweet, though. When he cranked it up, I couldn't believe straight out of the box, cranked on the first crank, and he didn't run it like I would think he would run a break-in run on the first pull, but he just ran it for about half a minute and shut it off.
Yeah, he's pretty knowledgeable dude, man. He's an ex-skydiver. He's got a couple thousand skydives. He jumped for a long time before he started flying powered paragliders, but he's very well known, and his videos are very entertaining. If you go back to watch anymore, watch some of the Flight Junkies fly-ins that they have. There's, you know.
Okay.
There's competition, Mike.
Let me click over there. Oh, look at that. I'm on share with all on that. Present to everyone.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Serious guys are coming out.
Announcing when he came in.
What? You hear me, Rusty?
Gotcha.
Okay. And show you the progress.
Looks awesome. Ah.
Yeah.
We're all scared. Upright or inverted engine?
Inverted.
Upright.
It's an engine, yeah. We're just trying to add a little miscalculation on the cow.
Oh, is it up? I'm sorry. Is it upright or inverted?
Inverted.
Yeah.
Oh, it is inverted.
Yeah, you got landing gear blocks there.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah.
Man, that's an awesome looking machine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we got two of them.
And it ought to turn like a tank with those big flaps on it.
Al, you both you guys going to be at Brodak?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got the the elevator on. So,
I didn't know if you had enough money to pay him to hang out with you all week.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I got a couple friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's so pretty. Did you use those? Those are the exact same hinges I use on mine when I made my half A.
Yeah. Oh, the hinges. Yeah.
That's why they call
man.
What are they, hinge pins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they half A hinge pin.
Yeah.
Were those Robart pins?
Are they Robart, Jim?
Yeah, Robart.
Yeah.
I recognize that voice in the background there, Al.
Yep, that's me.
No, not you, the other guy, Jim.
Oh, Oh, you recognize the other guy? Well, here.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the. You gotta.
Oh.
Here, I gotta. Let me show you. Well, here, show the controls.
Yeah, look at Park.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't forget to put a
Now, I
drop
don't even
of.
want to build one now.
What's that?
I don't even want to build another one now.
No, I think I'm gonna leave mine home too.
Hope the paint's dry.
Yeah, we're gonna paint it Wednesday. Wednesday, but you know, it's gonna be.
What's it weighing now?
What's that?
What's it weigh?
You weighed it?
6.5 ounces
Well, without the engine. Of course.
without the engine.
Holy cow!
How much?
6.5.
Without the engine.
What's it weigh with the engine?
It's gonna weigh finished weight. We're looking at 12 and a half.
12 and a half. Okay. All right.
I think that's a good weight for it.
Yeah, that's the design weight for that wing loading.
There's another. I guess bring the other. Bring yours up, and then we'll show them Jim Dameral's too. And here's it, Jim's with the gear in it.
There's the gear.
Oh, you went with tricycle gear?
Yeah,
tricycle gear. Yeah.
Okay.
Holy cow! Fancy.
Yeah. And then
there's our tank. That's bladder compartment.
You see the bladder compartment, Mike?
Yeah, I see it. It's pretty awesome. I love it.
We got the bladder's going to come out, through there, and
yeah, it's perfect, man.
Yeah.
I built something similar to this. Was a full body fuselage, 1/16 sides and stuff on top, and an I-beam wing I made for it.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Well, Al, I wrecked mine at Triple Tree. And I'm not going to repair it because it's just going to be too heavy. So I'm building another one, but it's going to be a different approach. It's going to be a different approch.
Oh, really? You're doing a different,
more combat-y.
My battery's gone. I'm down 20%. So if I drop off, you know why?
Yeah, you
use myself. And then this is. And then there's that's another club member.
Oh, those are awesome. I flew one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that.
The Bearcat.
They call it a Bearcat. I did fly. I flew it on a windy day. But it flies.
And that's a hell of a long nose.
It's a big,
it's
a big airplane.
The wing's like a Nobler, almost a junior Nobler.
Holy cow!
They fly good.
Yeah, look at the difference.
Yeah, look at it.
Where's it balanced?
Holy cow!
Holy cow.
Why is the nose so long on it?
I don't know. You got me. I don't know. That's the way it's designed. But there's a couple of them, you see a couple of guys showed pictures of them on the forum thread, FA thread.
I flew it once and it flew well.
Yeah. No, it does fly good. But like I said, I did the first test flight on it, and it flew good, and I did just 3 inside loops with it, and I didn't want to push it because it was really windy, and with that big wing, I didn't know what it was going to do. So,
I finished all my hinges too.
Yeah. So.
Oh, no kidding.
So anyway.
Nice. They fly well. They fly good. So yeah, I finished all the hinges on it.
So Al, you're gonna be back on Friday to show us
Friday
painted?
Well, no. Well, you're leaving when? Saturday. Jim's leaving before me. I'm leaving Sunday. He's leaving Saturday morning. Maybe. I don't know. Right now I just wanted to jump in, before you guys, showed us some progress. But anyway.
I think there's going to be a lot of wet airplanes there.
Yeah, everybody's going to have a.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. That is really sharp. I like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump back. I gotta head home. Got to go to work tomorrow.
Okay, man. Well, thanks for coming in and showing us.
Okay.
Thanks, Al. It was good.
I'll show you.
All right. Good night.
Hey, good night. See you guys later.
Yeah.
What you got there, Kim?
This is a Tester's Skyhawk that Troy Black got for me. And it was a ready-to-fly radio-controlled airplane in the late 60s. I always wanted one. They sold for about $70. And I wasn't disciplined enough with my lawn mowing and paper money to save up and buy one.
Is that foam?
Is it what, Steve?
Is that a foam fuselage or is that plastic?
It's a thin plastic. It's real flexible plastic. It's single channel. It only has a rudder. This one's missing. But it started out, it was marketed by Testers, and they had one of their little 049 conversions in it to a tank. And they switched over to Cox engines. I got a little Golden Bee without a cylinder, but the engine looks in great shape otherwise, and I got cylinders out the wazoo. So right now I'm just taking the name tag off of it. A guy had his name on it. Property of Tom Betazinski in Chicago, Illinois. So I got Tom's airplane by way of Troy, and I'm torn on deciding whether or not to fly it single channel like it was, or put a little cheater elevator on it to help me out.
Real men fly single channel rudder.
Yeah.
Is that a built-up wing or?
It's a solid foam wing, and I haven't started cleaning it yet. It's a tricycle gear airplane. It's fairly dirty, but I think it'll clean up.
I'm sure you said it in the beginning, but the old Tester's RC airplane, right?
Yeah. Yep. They call it a Skyhawk. Looks a whole lot more like a Cherokee.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
great. Man, just get it trimmed right and fly it rudder only, man. My dad did so much rudder only crap back in the day.
Oh yeah, my first RC plane was a Sterling Mini Mambo with a rubber band escapement in it, and I like to joke that I did more chasing than I did piloting, but it was still a lot of fun. And but it's still got the radio in it. I may try to see if I can get some kind of response out of it at some point.
Hey, Kim, my dad flew a single channel 010 littlest stick with a pulse rudder. You ever fly any of those?
I've got a little stick. It's about shot. I never flew it with rudder only. I had a small Canon radio in it. This year at the small fly down in Arkansas, there were a bunch of single channel airplanes.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of a little bit of
this was single channel pulse.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the pulse. Yeah,
single channel pulse 010 stick, and they're not much bigger than half-acre airplanes, really.
Yeah, and that was the original radio in this is a pulse response radio. There's a guy on YouTube, I can't remember his last name, but it's Otto something. He is one of these, and he actually flies it with the pulse radio. He built a replica of it and put a more modern radio in it, but he has an original, and they got some video of it flying it. So it's a flashback thing for me. It's a nostalgia thing, like so many things are for me.
It's awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah. So they have a servo. It has an escapement in it then?
Well, it has an electric. It's like kind of a galloping ghost type thing. It's got a little thing. This one has one that looks kind of like a servo, and it constantly pulses. The transmitter pulses, and the receiver responds to it. And how fast it pulses in one direction or the other gives you right or left rudder.
Oh, okay.
So, the stick of the transmitter, when you move it in one direction, it slows the pulses down so the rudder will dwell on one side of the arc or the other. You move the stick to the opposite side, the pulses increase, so it tends to hold it over to the other side, like in this case, the left turn. I don't know if I got it right or not.
You did.
But my little, I'm sorry.
When it's just normal flying, the rudder is pulsing back and forth like this. And
Evenly,
when you give
yeah.
left, it goes dunk, 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 and you give right, it goes dunk, 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 dunk. But in normal flight, it's doing this. And then on the elevator, too, on a Galloping Ghost, is doing the same thing. The elevator is just going up, down, up, down, up, down. When you go up, it goes up, up, up. When you go down, it goes down, 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 down. That's like 1960s technology. Early.
Well, it's really weird. It's operating off one frequency, and it's a matter of timing as to whether or not you're controlling the rudder or the elevator. But this was a very simple pulse. My mini Mambo had an escapement in it, which basically was the physical movement of the rudder was provided by a wound rubber band. I still have that radio and it still responds.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was a kid and I didn't really understand a lot of it. I was totally on my own. Sometimes I'd wind the rubber band up too tight. You trigger the turn, the little rudder looked like it was a pulse. It would go through its cycles. But
and even after escapements, some of the first push button pulse radios were just left, straight, right, all the way. It wasn't doing this. It was either full left, center, full right, and you'd have to push the button every time you push the button, it would move one space, but always back and forth. Dad had and he still flew it. And even in the 80s, he was flying an Ace High with pulse rudder. He was flying the littlest stick, and he actually had a Galloping Ghost airplane with like an OS-20 in it, with the Galloping Ghost radio, with the rudder and the elevator doing this. And then the throttle was a button, and you had basically slow, medium, fast on the button. You had to cycle through. It went all the way up, and then it came back to the beginning on the throttle. Crazy shit, man, to be flying RC back then.
Guys went through a lot of torment trying to get a plane in the air back then.
Yeah.
But I'm about to get the guy's name tag off here, but we'll see what we do with it. It's in pretty good shape. It's a little bit dirty. I'm going to clean it up, get this thing broke loose.
That's cool.
That's my plan.
I'd say get it trimmed out and balanced right and fly it rudder only, man, like it was meant.
I may give it a try. Yeah.
Try it. What kind of battery did you order for the plane?
4S 2200.
Oh, okay.
Is that too small?
I don't know. Oh, I gave you the one that 2700, right?
35.
I sent you a 3500.
Yeah, it's a pretty big fat one. Yeah.
I thought you were 2600.
26.
Yeah, 2600.
2600, but it's not gonna go in here.
Oh, you need the fatter.
Look, this is a beast, you know.
One of our main YouTubers, Bob Bishop, says if he can arrange it would work, he's going to take a shot at going to Brodak. Looks like about a 4.5 hour drive.
Oh, awesome.
I got the flaps done.
Yeah, I see.
Hinges are installed. Both sides.
Yep.
And I also installed here.
Yeah.
Ready to
You
go.
guys want to see another new airplane?
Well, I want to ask Tryon something first, though.
Go ahead.
Awfully nice airplane, man, for an 8-year-old that's just starting. Do you think maybe you should fly some junk first?
No.
No.
The easier, the better the plane, the easier is to fly, and the easier is to fly, the easier is to learn. That's my theory.
I understand that 100%, but man, them young boys crash a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, here's how it works out with Samantha anyway. She started out with a really nice airplane, then she flew junk.
Yeah.
after we put it back together a whole bunch of times.
Yeah. I mean, I built him a couple of nice planes when he first started, and I was like, nope, he's just gonna fly beaters and shit until he figures everything out.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay.
I agree totally.
I had several friends of mine that I was teaching them how to fly and how to build, and I got them straight up to a good plane. I think their first start was at least a Cardinal 40 profile. That's
Okay,
what
well,
they
those were
started
good
on.
friends of yours that were adults, right? Not children.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. I have to keep an eye on him, what he's doing,
Yeah.
obviously, So, I hope I'm gonna teach him well. We're gonna try not to crash it. Obviously, things are gonna happen. If we just pancake it, or some of those flat crashes when you kind of come level and stuff like that, it's fine. But if you go straight in, something definitely is wrong. We are not thinking about what we're doing, or something's completely wrong. So yeah, it's a nice plane. Yeah, I think it's going to be trouble-free. But the motor should run perfectly every time. The plane should fly perfectly every time.
Dude, you built a revolution. I'm sure that thing is awesome. And it's going to fly great.
Yeah.
If you take an old airplane that's been, usually the ones you get have been crashed and messed up anyway and been fixed, it usually takes more time to get an old airplane flying right than if you just build a profile and get it in the air. You can fix that one,
Yeah.
and get another new one going, because I always find it's more time fixing an airplane you're given or you buy cheap or whatever than it is one that you build.
I mean, your progression with Alex may be smoother and easier than it was for me and Sam, but let me tell you, Sam's wrecked like 30 airplanes since he was 6 years old, 7 years old. He's 10 now, and I mean destroyed 30 airplanes. That's a conservative number of what's taken him to get to the point where he is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you're any better or any worse than I am, or that
we're gonna wreck for sure.
He's just gonna wreck a bunch of shit, I think, unless it just all clicks right off the bat. And he's gonna break a lot of airplanes to get all the way there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I just think that's too beautiful of an airplane to wreck like that,
Yeah.
So,
Samantha never wrecked that many airplanes from her flying. Basically, it was problems with we had a clevis fall off.
Well, yeah, there's all that stuff. Engine quitting, the wind, a clevis.
That shit's always happening.
There's all kinds of things that can make a plane crash. See, you're absolutely right. And all those are going to happen.
Yeah.
And the more minor crashes you have, the more things that come loose and go wrong too after.
Yeah.
But we still have her second airplane. It's flyable. That took her all the way to intermediate. She won it that year at the Nats. Was a whole shot, and basically the problems came when she had to build her own airplanes. They were
there's that too, but even learning to stunt, they might get through a maneuver 10 times, and then they're flying in a different wind, and they put it in the wrong place, and the airplane differently than optimum, and they just, they F up and hit the ground, man, because they did the maneuver in the wrong place and the airplane can't do it. I mean, there's a gazillion things that are going to happen. Sam is by no means done crashing flying the past. And it took a lot of planes and a lot of time just to do the basic stuff. And he's still going to be wrecking shit because the wind is going to get him once in a while. A hiccup in the motor or something is going to cause him to not do the right thing,
Yeah, but you see, Mike, right now what you're saying is that yes, those things are going to happen, but those things happen often on a less performing plane. You know,
They do.
You have a good solid plane that's going to fly well. It's going to be rock solid and with good motor run. It's hard. Even if you do mistakes, he's going to forgive you.
I don't deny that, Tryon, but I'd rather it happened on the Ringmaster or Twister that some guy gave us at a contest for free, or you know, that a broken one, and I put a Fox 35 on it and let me get 10 flights in it and learn some shit on it. You know.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's also good. Yeah.
The biggest thing Samantha did was break propellers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she broke landings and takeoffs and stuff like that. A lot of it was crappy airplanes that didn't take off out of the damn grass and stuff very good.
Yeah.
After snag the lines.
Yeah, snag lines and
raise your hand if you ever caught a weed and it came in at you. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you.
After the Alex had his first 2 flights on the Revolutions actually, and I was with him at the center teaching him to fly level flight on the Revolutions, right? Then we went to Joe and All, and after the Joe and All, at the very end of the contest, I made him a little surprise, and I let him fly Revolutions again at let him fly a full flight on it at the end of it. He had no issues with it, and we even started to practice the first loops and actually practice some inverted flight on it. But the plane is just bulletproof, reliable. Whatever you want to put it is going to go there. So it's easy. And I know for myself, it's so easy to fly. And at the end, I let him land it. Probably just staying right there next to him, explaining what to do. I said to him, "Hey, we'll put the fuselage level." I said that's perfect. Just hold it right there. And he held it right there, like just he was drawing the glide path, like was just perfect glide path, right? And as you approach, I said, "Give it just a tiny bit of up," And he gave it to slow it down a little bit. I said, "Give it a little bit more up, just a tiny bit more up." And he gave it a little bit more, and just perfect landing. And but the plane, it's easy to fly. It's easy, stupid easy to fly. And when it's like that, it makes anybody, even a novice, fly well.
Because, it does if they're in the right place in the circle while they're doing maneuver, and that's one of the things I was trying to get across. When they start to do stunts, they have to be very aware of the wind line. And I've been beating this into Sam's head. The wind. You gotta watch where you're going in the circle because of the wind. It still bites him in the ass. If he does an 8 and he gets one too high and he gets too far over, and then
then it's over.
And boom, he's in the dirt.
We do the same thing here.
There's more than just a well-flying, well-trimmed airplane. They have to do the stuff in the right place to get the performance that the airplane can offer. And we all know if you're outside the window where stuff's supposed to be done, it gets swirly. And a new person probably half the time going to make the wrong choice, and they're going to wreck the plane.
Yep.
And you got to get them. And all I'm saying, Tryon, is, man, you're building a beautiful airplane for your boy. And I would have built one like that for Sam because he's tearing that shit up all the time.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do, though, Mike, is stand on the other side, stand where he should be doing the maneuvers.
We do that, too. I mean, he's getting there. But, Steve, he's 10. He's 10. Yeah. We're just getting to that point. But even getting to the point that we got to now, him at 10 years old, we've gone through a lot of airplanes. And all the stuff I tell him about wind and maneuvers and where you do them and how far you go, he's 10. He does. It's not all still there,
And you know what? It's no easier to teach a 60-year-old either.
Right. So there's just so many mistakes, and it only takes one to start that chain of events to the, oh shit, I can't do anything about it.
Well, the thing is too, Mike, is that if you get him to do the same thing every time, it's like with Samantha. I had her point to where the wind was at. Off, she let me know where she thought it was at and made her do it every time. So first thing I thought about is where is the maneuver going to be? Until it finally sunk in her head. That's the first thing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was part of her training. It took you some.
Right.
You got to that point.
Uh-huh.
And you got past that point. It's all a training thing. You get like a little bit at a time, and then some things just become repetition, and they know, and you don't have to go over that with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But until you got to that point, it was an issue, and she may have crashed airplanes because of it.
Yeah.
I know Sam does or did. You know, you take each challenge in flying control line airplanes, teaching a child how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a long road to get to the point where they can stand out there and do them by themselves and make those decisions for themselves without somebody telling them or them getting into trouble and wrecking an airplane. That's all I'm saying. It's not easy. It's not easy to get to that point.
The one thing is that with finding out where the wind was and stuff like that, and I wish we'd done it sooner, is before we ever flew, okay, where are you going to put your maneuvers?
Yeah.
Before we ever went out there, it's like at the World Championships, you couldn't change once you set the judges. So it really got her into watching the wind and what it was doing and stuff like this, because she knew once she set the judges and picked where maneuvers were going to be, she had to do them all there, or your points come way down. So it was a deal of when the wind is changing. Okay, it blows this way a little bit, it blows that way. We're going to pick in the middle. We're going to and they got to be there, which is a real bitch. But we started, before we go out, okay, where's the maneuvers going to be? First thing. And we talk about it or whatever. So it was just, but yeah, it's got to be almost, we do this, and then we add this, and then we add this. But we always start at the beginning, no matter, she used to get mad at me. Where's the maneuver? I know. Okay, I know you know. Where's it going to be?
Right. I do the same thing with Sam. I have been beating into his head since he was a kid. Do maneuvers downwind with the wind at your back, with the wind at your back. And you know when it finally clicked? Just at Joe Knoll a few weeks ago, because they had a big giant windsock out there with a couple of ribbons on it. And I said, there's a windsock right there. Look at the way those ribbons are flowing. That's the way the wind's going. You want that windsock at your back.
Yeah.
And I've been telling Sam for 5 years. Wind at your back, because it pulls the airplane this way. Downwind gives you line tension when you're flying your maneuvers. But it wasn't until he saw that big pole with those two ribbons on it, with the wind blowing. And I'm like, see, it's a line. There's your upwind side, so when you're looking straight at it. And the tail of that is your downwind side. That's the direction you want to do your maneuver. I mean, you can tell a new time flyer that the first time they fly, but they're not going to know it till they've heard it 150 times.
Yeah. Well, one thing is, though, with him flying combat, and I noticed that with Samantha, when we put her on the wings, airplanes, and let her fly them, and she got better. But they had tension no matter where she flew.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, once she went to a bigger airplane, it's like, you just can't put that airplane anyplace.
Right.
It was kind of like a whole new retraining.
You got to let them know. They got to understand wind direction and wind at your back. Because that is one thing I think Sam figured out pretty early was with a 75-mile-an-hour combat plane, he could fly it wherever the hell he wanted, no matter what the wind was doing.
Yeah. And we were flying fast laps. We were flying with the slow combat airplanes. She had tension no matter what, which really helped in confidence in doing stuff. But it didn't translate over once we went to an airplane that didn't have tension every place.
Yeah, you got one circle to work with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to teach him a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. I'm hoping to just teach him the right things and everything I know. Just have fun.
And then it'll finally just click with him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What I don't want him to do is I don't want him to fight the plane. Bad motor runs. I don't want him to fight a bad trim. I don't want him to fight any of that. I just want to have something that's going to fly well everywhere, and I'm going to just, yeah, it happens. The stuff happens, right? So yeah, well, after that, I think I'm gonna, worst case scenario, I'm gonna buy a bunch of ARPs for him, so to fly, unless I find something, halfway decent at the flying field or something like that. But I'd prefer to keep him on electric because it's just very reliable, and it runs the same over and over again. So no more troubles to worry about there.
I think that is the biggest thing, is because if you only have time for four flights, you're going to get 4 good ones.
Yeah.
And I really believe that, and it flies the same way every single time. It just,
it's easy after that.
And they get used to it, and I really believe that helps.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been trying with electric, just for the reason is to see, can I get better knowing that this thing is going to run the same speed all the time. And I really think it's helping. I've come further now than I have, before, because first is flying 5 laps, then I'm flying 4 9s, and I'm at 5.3, and then I get fast engine run, and it just spins me into the ground. And
yeah, you actually have to go to a bigger motor, like a 60 size, 50, 60 or something like that, even a tune pipe motor to get bulletproof consistency out of that. Some 40s run well, but
I don't believe that. If I set up an LA-46 with a proper tank setup, I can get pretty much the same run every time.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a little fast or a little slow. You should still be able to fly the damn thing, man.
Yeah. Well,
without following it up. If it's 4.7 or 5.6, you should still be able to fly a flipping pattern with it. And I mean, Christ.
Until it hits the ground, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
The good thing about an IC motor, though, is that it gives you more skills based on, you become more versatile because you have to be able to change with it. When something goes wrong, then you have to be able to figure out what to do. Whereas when it's doing the same thing every time, if something goes wrong, you don't know what to do.
Nothing.
Well, the least you have to worry about, the better, I think.
True.
It really, I don't know. Once you can fly, it's like with Dick. Didn't go out there and fly anybody's airplane. Yep, and he can do whatever. Samantha can do that. Fly my airplane. She flies it. What do you think? Well, it turns this, whatever. I go out there, I can't fly the son of a bitch. I've been doing a lot better with the electric. I set the time. We can set the lead outs. And I go through, every time I fly it, it's the same, and it's helping me.
Mm-hmm.
Good flyer, I can say, yeah, you can fly anything. You can make them do, Samantha can fly the full pattern with the crappiest flying airplane. She wouldn't get a good score with it, but hell, she can fly the whole pattern with it. Dick can do the same thing.
A 1 second difference in a lap time, even from 4.5 to 5.5, a 1 second difference in a lap time shouldn't preclude anyone from being able to fly the airplane through a pattern. I wouldn't think.
True, but it's gonna make your life a living hell in the process.
If you're a good flyer, 1 second isn't going to matter. If you're learning, 1 second is big time difference.
Yeah.
It's just a huge difference. It's like when I shoot trap, we go out there and work with people. I could shoot in a windy day or a calm day, or when they're throwing fast targets or slow targets, because I've done it for years and years and shot 100,000 targets. But you get a new guy going out there, all you need to do is add 5 degrees on the width of the house where it's throwing targets. It'll drop their scores by 5 or 6 targets. In a 25, they can't shoot it. Because it's different and things change. They should be able to, but they can't until you get so good. It's like my coach. he could shoot from his waist and shoot a 25. It didn't matter. He could shoot anybody's gun, anything. He could do it all. But you trade out guns with people, they can't shoot them. I mean, it's just a deal to where unless you're good at it, you really can't do that good. Fly a pattern, but you ain't gonna get many points for it.
Well, the way I look at it is that you have enough trouble just flying the plane, then to add to that trouble the unreliable things, you know, motors that don't run way, the plane does not performing, loose lines, whatever else, you know. It's like, but the better the plane when you're learning, the easier it's for you to make progress and get better. That's my opinion.
What I will say is with IC is that will make you better is saving an airplane.
Yeah, but why do you need to learn how to save up an airplane when you can have a trouble-free and then worry-free thing?
There's no such thing as trouble-free.
When we were in France,
some days there's always going to be trouble. Something will always happen eventually. And if you're a better flyer because you have to deal with more, you will be able to more likely save it than if you're used to having it easy all the time.
Samantha flew through a dirt devil, we call them, a little tornado in France.
Oh, yeah.
People couldn't believe she saved that airplane. And, well, first she hit it with the wing over. She flew into it and came out, and then came back into the next wing over and flew into it again the second time.
Wow.
And she's like, there's something wrong with my plane. And I'm like, get it high, get it high. But she couldn't see the dirt devil spinning. But everybody was like, oh my God. And everybody else on the circle, their airplanes are all over. But yeah, she saved it in the wing. Flew dead center of that thing. But yeah, I wish I'd have had pictures of it. But, you know.
I saw some guy at Triple Tree lay flat on his back on one of them circles and fly a combat plane.
Yeah, was his name Mike by any chance?
He laid flat on his back and flew.
Yeah, I saw that guy too. I think his Mike was his name or something like Lonky or something.
Son of a bitch.
Crazy guy. Yeah, you're right.
Even when the gas ran out, he just.
Yeah, and then he doinked the plane and straight in. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night, Troy.
Some of us have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Mike, we're going to fly junkyard too.
Yeah, good.
Oh, yeah.
I got all the chloroplast over here waiting to go. You know that's.
I'm excited. Chloroplast we're going to do.
Yep. Everybody's getting at least 6 pieces of 18 by 24.
We're going to use chloroplast big time. We got a big plan going on.
Probably closer to 8 or 10 pieces per team.
We won't need that many, I hope.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think 6 is enough for anybody to
more than enough.
What are y'all's engine requirements? A 35?
20 plain bearing 25 or a Fox 35.
Okay.
Commercially available plain bearing 25.
All right.
Or a Fox 35 up to 35.
Can you go smaller or no?
I don't know. Well, you know, I don't know. That's a good question, Lynn.
Yeah, you can go with the smaller motor.
Like I'd like to run a 15.
If you can make the plane light enough.
I think you probably could. You know.
Okay.
I don't think that's.
I don't see why they wouldn't allow us to fly on 52-foot lines.
Well, no, we were flying the 25s on 52s anyway.
Okay, that should be fine then. If we run 12 thou 52s, we should be okay.
I think so. I would double check the rules, which are posted.
Yeah, we'll check them.
But
I mean, we can do a 25, but I'd rather do a 15.
I don't think
for what we want to do.
In the rules about going down, it just says 25s and 35s. But
yeah, I don't think they want anything bigger than 35 because of the fact that the things could fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad there's going to be a next year. We can do electric ones.
No.
If you're going to change rules, then you just change them any way you want.
Well, I guess you could, but
you know, if you ain't going to leave it the same, then everything's open for rule changes.
Well, I think we kind of knew this was probably going to be the last one. So I reached out to Tim Stagg and Will Davis and said, hey, I'll bring a bunch of Coroplast. If anybody's interested in using it and we want to make that an available material, I'll supply it, but it's got to be in the rules and it's got to be posted before the event so everybody knows what you're going to have. I just think, the orange crate thing, it's played out, man.
It's tired.
It's been done.
It's tired.
And over and over and over and over again.
And it's like you say, everybody builds the same airplane.
They do. And I thought, you know what, let's bring a new material in and maybe we get some new designs, some better flying designs, and just to kind of enhance and lighten up the event a little bit for the last go around,
Yeah,
Some
it'll
of-
be the same designs.
Some of the purists may not like it, the ones that have been going to Brodex forever. And, orange crates has always been the material, but oh well. I think we're going to have some better flying airplanes.
For sure. And flexibility is the spice of life.
Yeah, why not? Who cares? If you don't like it, don't use it. Build your orange crate thing.
That's right.
Just build what you want. Build the same old thing they've been building for the last 20 years. But if you want to try something different, challenge yourself to a new design, there you go.
Then they
We're
make
definitely going to use the new design.
Are you going to build a platter, Len?
What's that?
Are you building a platter?
A platter? No platters. No.
Okay.
We're gonna build something totally different this year. It's gonna be, people will be surprised, I think.
a tri-wing.
It's
I'm
going to
not
be a
saying no,
bathtub.
none of that. It'll be a standard airplane, but I don't want to say what it's gonna be.
All right. I know what mine's going to look like already. I mean, I know exactly what the wing is going to be.
So do I. I've got it all drawn out already. I don't even really have to draw it because there's already drawings, but that's as far as I'll say.
Okay.
We're excited.
You drinking a glass of dope there, Mike?
That's old clear.
Dope. Come
It
on.
looks like it's the same color as dope.
It
Yeah,
is.
old,
Yeah.
it's old clear and ice cubes.
You know what that is, man.
Good stuff. Put some retarder in there.
Hey, let me ask you about
Nitrate out of it.
retarder.
It's
I got a
like
question
nitrate
about
dope out of-
retarder.
Nitrate dope out of an old rusty can. That's why it's yellow.
Hey, if you don't have retarder, will extra thinner do the same job?
What are you talking about?
Thinner
This
goes
shit
the other way.
is retarder, man.
That's why I said you drink enough of it, you become retarder.
Yeah, it is retarder.
Now,
A little Irish whiskey. That's all it is.
Yeah.
if you add thinner to dope, it becomes faster. Retarder slows it down.
Yeah, it wouldn't do the same thing.
That wouldn't do the same thing. Okay.
Heats it up because it evaporates faster.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got I was doing some painting one day back when I was working on the Twister, and I'd never seen any blush when the humidity's high. People tell me they always had blush, and so it was raining outside one day, and I wasn't getting any blush in the shop, so I swung the doors open and painted a piece.
Look
of
out.
wood. Damned if it didn't blush like crazy. And
Yeah.
so later on, I just took some plain thinner and sprayed it, and it cleared it right. It cleared it right up. So I guess it melted it long enough to let the moisture evaporate the next
What I
day.
do is I listen to the weather every day before I go out in that garage and fire up the compressor. If it's over 58, I don't spray. 58% humidity. 58 or less, I'll spray.
Do y'all leave the water vents on your compressors open when you're not using it?
I do. I drain mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I drain it too.
I went out to the shop a couple of days ago and started mine up, got it pressurized and let some air out, and it blew a shitload of water out. And I thought
Get
maybe
the water out of there because you don't want the water coming through your air line because
Yeah.
otherwise, again, you're getting issues.
Yeah.
You gotta drain the tank, man. You gotta let that little pisser valve on the bottom.
Yeah.
Every time.
And then sometimes it'll stop. Like it'll be going and it'll stop. And you gotta go in there and move it a little bit because it's
mine was doing that.
Shit. Yeah, drain it.
Drain it right out.
Too.
Keep it dry.
Rust,
Yeah. Yeah, I kept rocking the tank around too, and finally got it all out. But I just left it open when I turned it off last time.
With a water separator, I've got a water separator on mine, and it
That's
fills
even
up,
better.
You know, it collects in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
You got to drain all that shit. You know, every time you spray or anytime you are doing anything.
You're always trying to fight the contaminants and fight the blush all the time.
When I opened my valve the other day, I had it pumped up to like 160 pounds, and it blew a piece of concrete off the floor underneath it.
Well, then you had it too far. But you know what, Rusty? Put a towel under it next time.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how discolored that water, how orange water
that's what I
when
was worried about.
In your tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dick, when are you getting to Brodax? Are you rolling in with Steve and Samantha, or are you
coming Saturday morning? Mike Paris, John Paris and I will be there Saturday afternoon.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Leaving early in the morning.
I probably won't get there till either Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Samantha's not going to go because she can't get off of work because we had to move. She has to work Saturday. So it messed up. My mom happened to go into the hospital. It messed up when we could leave and when we could, because we were going to come back early, but it just, everything's all screwed up. So.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry Samantha can't make it.
Yeah. I kind of had the feeling that when she got this new job, getting any time off was going to be hard.
Yeah.
You know, so, but
That's too bad.
She quit the one and lost all of her vacation time. And
Dick, how's your knees, man? Did you get your shots?
Had them shot up last Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay, because you said if you get your shots, you're going to be good for a couple weeks.
Oh, good for about 3 months.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, they pump them full of steroids and good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, he was walking better. They want to do that to me, but I won't. I don't know. I don't want no shot in my back, into my spine.
So, Dick, I guess we'll get to battle it out in advance this year in profile and PA, right? And then are you flying N30 Classic?
Classic.
Okay.
Classic carrier, perky, 35 speed.
Awesome.
That's why he's got that 23 out there for PA on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. How about you, Len? What events are you entering?
Let's see. Nostalgia 30. Or no, sorry, Classic. Old Time Phase 2.
What skill level?
I'm sorry?
What skill level? What
Expert. Expert.
Okay.
So yeah, Classic, Old Time Phase 2, CLPA, and Ringmaster.
Yeah, I might bring my Ringmaster too. Forgot about that.
Half A. I won't fly profile this year. I just can't bring everything.
Yeah.
Not enough room. Because I got all Naomi's planes too. She's going to be flying in carrier, and I'll probably try it as well. So there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
On profile day, I think that's the day that they start carrier. So I want to be with her up at the carrier deck, and I don't want to be running back and forth every 15 or 20 minutes to try and get a flight always.
I hear you.
Anybody heard anything about John in the last few weeks?
Nothing.
I haven't either.
No news is good news, I guess.
Yeah. I know he's doing better, and I haven't heard anything.
Let's
So.
hope so.
Well, guys,
I think I'm going to bail.
I got to get out of here.
Great.
Yep, same here. I'm gonna go.
See you
I
Friday.
think it looks like everybody's about ready to bail. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to bail too. I got to get some sleep. Tomorrow I
Okay,
start getting all my stuff ready.
Hey, well, y'all made a pretty good show tonight. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Rusty. Have a great night, guys.
All right.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
have a great
Take it
week.
easy. We'll see y'all Friday. Maybe if I'm not out of town, I'll be here Friday.
Mike,
All
we'll
right.
see you Saturday.
We'll
And
be
Take care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, people.
Later.
All right.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night. Y'all have safe trips, those of you that are hitting the road. So.
Calling it, Rusty.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Yeah. All right. Good night, buddy. And we're off.